This page is the cover of Beep, Powerful Mega Magazine for January 1994, priced at 540 yen. The vibrant artwork features Sonic the Hedgehog front and center, surrounded by characters from various Mega Drive and Mega CD titles, including Rika from Phantasy Star IV, and possibly Axel and Blaze from Streets of Rage. The cover announces a special year-end review for the Mega Drive in 1993, and a look ahead to 1994, promising insights into the console's future. Key features highlighted include an urgent report on Lunari, likely the highly anticipated Lunar Series entries for the Mega CD, and extensive coverage of Mega CD games like The Mansion of Hidden Souls and Dungeon Master 2. There's also a stitched-in supplement dedicated to Phantasy Star IV, The End of the Millennium, a truly epic RPG. Other exciting games getting coverage include Castlevania, Bloodlines, Flashback, Jungle Strike, Battlemania 2, and special reports on upcoming hits like Streets of Rage 3, Virtua Racing, and Sonic Spinball. It's clear this issue is packed with content covering the best of 1993, and what to look forward to in 1994, across both Mega Drive and Mega CD platforms. This page showcases the power of the Mega CD to deliver virtual reality cinema, with a series of astonishing titles. Featured prominently is Night Trap, the controversial full-motion video game that puts you in charge of defending a house full of girls from attackers using strategically placed traps. This thrilling and suspenseful interactive movie made waves internationally and is available now. Another key title highlighted is The Mansion of Hidden Souls, a mysterious adventure game released in December 1993. It draws players into an unsettling Western-style mansion filled with secrets, emphasizing atmosphere and puzzle solving through keen observation and sound. Also featured is Ishi Hisaichi no Taisekai, a unique simulation game set in Japan's national diet building, scheduled for release in early 1994, promising a mix of ambition and entertainment. The page also briefly covers the available hardware, including the more compact Mega Drive 2, the essential Mega CD 2 attachment, and the Al-Unknown Victor Wonder Mega RGM2. This page showcases several Game Gear titles, highlighting the handheld's diverse lineup. Featured is Nazo Puyo 2, a puzzle game released in December 1993. This spin-off of the popular Puyo Puyo series challenges players with 200 quiz puzzles, featuring the beloved character Carbuncle and an edit mode to create your own challenges. Next up is Taisen Mahjong Hao Pai 2, a mahjong game also released in December 1993. It boasts 13 unique characters to challenge across 3 different modes, promising engaging gameplay for mahjong enthusiasts. Disney's popular character Donald Duck stars in Deep Duck Trouble, the latest action game featuring his comical antics. Released in December 1993, this title involves diverse actions like ground slides and jumps, appealing to both action game fans and Disney animation lovers. The page also introduces special Game Gear packs, including a Sonic and Tails pack featuring the latest Sonic series entry, and a Mickey Mouse no Mahu no Crystal, likely Mickey's Ultimate Challenge internationally, pack. These are bundled with the Game Gear Plus 1 unit, offering value. A hotline number section is also visible for inquiries. This page highlights J.League Pro Striker for the Sega Mega Drive, emphasizing its speedy and sporty gameplay. Presented by Sega, this soccer title features the latest J.League team and player data, promising a realistic experience. A key feature is the included Sega Tap Multitap, enabling exciting 4-player simultaneous matches right out of the box. The game also introduces a new All-Star mode for custom team matchups. The page displays dynamic gameplay screenshots, the cheerful J.League mascots, and images of the Sega Tap, scheduled for release on December 17, 1993, at a price of 8,800 yen. This is a revised version aiming to deliver top-tier soccer action. A separate mention is made of the Sega Code Pad set, available for 4,800 yen. This page highlights the upcoming release of Sonic Spinball for the Mega Drive. Described as a spin-action game where the energetic hero Sonic makes rapid progress, it puts Sonic into cunningly designed pinball fields created by the persistent villain, Drive Eggman. The page shows screenshots of the game's unique pinball meets platforming gameplay. It also announces a Sonic Bingo Present campaign, where players can collect various Sonic series software titles, including Sonic Spinball, Sonic the Hedgehog 3, Sonic the Hedgehog CD, and the Game Gear title Sonic Chaos, to win original Sonic merchandise. Additionally, the page features the compact Mega Drive 2 console, available for 12,800 yen. There is also a brief mention of the golf simulation game Harukanaru Augusta, which simulates famous courses with a pro golfer's feel, set for release on December 17th for 8,800 yen. This page is a must-see for any fan of the legendary Phantasy Star series, offering a final chance to acquire highly desired official merchandise. It features various items related to the first 4 games, Phantasy Star I through IV. Available items include Phantasy Star Sound Collection I, covering PSI-2-2I, and 2 covering PSIV on CD, an original illustration book featuring artwork by Hitoshi Yoneda, character goods like t-shirts, 2 designs shown, one featuring Nii and Elisa Alice, the other showing Elisa Alice and other characters, a phone card, and a bandana set. Some items, like the Sound Collection 2 and the illustration book, are explicitly stated as limited editions. The page emphasizes that this is the last opportunity to purchase these goods via mail order, and that they are exclusive to this specific ordering method. The deadline for placing orders is January 31st. This spread serves as a direct advertisement for dedicated Phantasy Star enthusiasts looking to collect memorabilia from the classic saga. This page features the Sega Mega CD title or Sagel, the 4th volume in the Psychic Detective series developed by DataWest. Described as a psychic detective adventure game, the page highlights its exclusive release on the Mega CD and support for backup RAM. It details the game's narrative, involving mystery and potentially intertwined storylines, hinted at by the title, Two Melodies That Play Time. The game utilizes the DAPS system, emphasizing its full voice acting for the protagonist, Aya, and integration of voice, text, and visuals for an immersive and interactive experience. The release date is set for December 10th, with a price of 7,600 yen, excluding tax. The page includes evocative illustrations, reflecting the game's mysterious atmosphere. This page is a promotional page from Konami, prominently featuring artwork from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles franchise. The image showcases the 4 turtles Leonardo, Donatello, Michelangelo, and Raphael, along with supporting characters like April O'Neil and Casey Jones. Also depicted are villains, including Baxter Stockman in his fly form, and a character resembling Bebop or Rocksteady. The dynamic artwork is typical of Konami's arcade and console games, based on the popular animated series, likely promoting a related title such as Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Hyperstone Heist on the Mega Drive. The page also advertises a special offer for an original anime video as a gift, obtainable by using an application form found within eligible products. A small graphic of Twinbee, another Konami character, is also included on the page. Below the main visual, standard company contact information and details for Konami's weekly telephone information service are listed. This page dives into the intense world of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Tournament fighters for the Sega Mega Drive. Konami brings the heroes in a half-shell back in a fierce one-on-one fighting game where blood boils and flesh dances. Get ready for brutal showdowns with flashy special moves between the turtles and a roster of other characters from the universe. The game boasts diverse fighting stages set across 10 different dimensions or planets. A cool edit function lets you customize character performance, and an instant replay feature helps you analyze your technique. You can jump into the action in 1P, 2P versus, or tournament modes. The page features screenshots showing Raphael battling a cyborg, Michelangelo clashing with Ray Fillet in an underwater arena, and April O'Neil facing off against a female ninja. The game was released on December 10th. This page introduces the Mega CD title, Allshark, a space RPG that was a big hit on PC and is now arriving on the Mega CD. This version boasts significantly powered-up visuals and sound, leveraging the CD's capacity, and features popular voice actors to enhance the emotional story, focusing on the protagonist Shabikin's growth. The game is set in the small universe of Whisperad, split between the 3 nations of Mars, Wuria, and Zorius, who are on the verge of war. The story kicks off when a giant meteorite falls on Shion's home planet, Hum. The page walks us through some early events. Shion and Shoko head to the meteorite crater, where they encounter Shion's father, Jito, captured by Zorius soldiers. Jito leaves a cryptic message, Allshark, before his death, leading Shion to vow revenge against the Zorius Empire. Shion also discovers his mother, Lucia, has disappeared, sparking a search for her whereabouts. Along the way, powerful allies appear, and the quest for Lucia leads them to a spaceport, facing obstacles like sold-out tickets to Mars where Lucia went. The page also features a mysterious character, Mammon, and introduces the spaceship Atreya. Screenshots show the field battle system, where characters attack and move, noting that all allies except Shiken are on auto battle. Other images depict conversation scenes and key story moments like Jito's confrontation and the spaceship. This page continues introducing the Mega CD Space RPG Allshark, detailing the characters, plot developments, and gameplay modes. We get a lineup of the main cast, including the protagonist Shion Asuma Canyon, his childhood friend Shoko, the mechanic Joe, the mysterious Welda, and the robot Cal, alongside the spaceship Atreya. A section highlighting the voice actors features a group photo, emphasizing their contribution to the game's emotional scenes. The narrative section focuses on Shion's journey of growth into a hero, as the group travels in space on the Atreya, facing powerful enemies in Whisperad. Key plot points are teased, including the reappearance of Shion's mother, Lucia, revealing a surprising truth, and the introduction of characters like Duke Girdle and Shoko's father, Mammon. In-game screenshots show conversation sequences and the battle Yia. The page also introduces the primary antagonists, the Zorius Empire, controlled by the alien entity Karma. Portraits and descriptions are provided for powerful bosses like Jaguma, Laravel, Nobel Sullivan, and Gadmos Biden. Gameplay is further showcased with a screenshot of the spacefight mode, described as a shooting game, where players can battle enemies like the massive battleship Russell Guyar, with options for auto or manual control. Finally, the page features related CD releases, including the original soundtrack composed by Tenpei Sato, and an image song single, noting the involvement of famous musicians. It concludes with the game's platform, Mega CD, price, 8,800 yen, and that it is now on sale. This page showcases Urusei Yatsura. Dear my friends, an upcoming game for the Sega Mega CD from GameArts. The page prominently features the iconic character Lum, inviting players to Welcome to Tomobiki Town, the series' familiar setting. Screenshots offer a glimpse into the game's presentation, including character interactions and scenes set within the Urusei Yatsura universe. The game was announced with a tentative price of 7,800 yen and an undecided release date. This looks like an adventure or visual novel title, leveraging the CD format for enhanced visuals and possibly voice acting, typical for Mega CD games of the era, based on popular anime properties. This page features The Third World War, a simulation game for the Sega Mega CD from Micronet, which is currently on sale for 7,800 yen. The striking main artwork depicts caricatures of Bill Clinton and Saddam Hussein shaking hands in front of a chaotic, burning Earth, surrounded by military hardware like fighter jets, a submarine, and battleships, all set against a backdrop of city skylines. The prominent vertical text poses the question of who the Earth needs now to prevent World War II winds, highlighting the game's focus on navigating complex global politics, economics, and diplomacy. Screenshots show the game's interface, including a global map view used for strategic management, displaying statistics like military and economic strength for various countries. Another screenshot illustrates a diplomatic scene, showing a leader requesting aid from another nation. The game emphasizes the importance of gathering information on other countries, using realistic tactics in battles, and mastering political negotiations as crucial elements for success. It's presented as a deep strategy title, where players must balance multiple factors to maintain global stability, or perhaps dominate the world stage. This page features the Tatsujin control pad, touted as the strongest control pad on Earth, designed to help players break through game barriers. The striking visual showcases the controller itself, emphasizing its ergonomic design and multiple features. Key selling points include a rapid-fire function with switchable speeds of 30 shots per second and 10 shots per second, with independent rapid-fire switches for each of the A, B, C, X, Y, and Z buttons. It also boasts a two-step slow mode, allowing players to slow down gameplay significantly or slightly, providing an advantage in fast-paced games. This is a 6-button controller, fully compatible even with older games designed for the 3-button layout. It's compatible with the MegaDrive, MegaDrive 2, TerraDrive, and Wonder Mega, and is currently on sale for 3,480 yen, excluding tax. This page features a striking image of a woman riding on the back of a Stegosaurus, with the large blue text Amusement Media Genesis. The page is an announcement for the opening of the Amusement Media College, which is scheduled to be established in April 1994, as indicated by the logo in the top left. The college is recruiting its first-term students for various departments, including computer game, animation, comic, and voice actor/talent, each accepting 100 students. The location is near Ebishu Station and Daikanyama Station in Tokyo. The page provides details on how to apply for a free prospectus via postcard and lists contact information 03572145151 for inquiries. It also highlights a special scholarship system for first-term students and mentions that information sessions are currently being held. A smaller image at the bottom right shows 3 smiling young people, likely representing the students. This page showcases 2 comprehensive game catalogs. The top section announces the MegaDrive and Mega CD All Soft catalog, edited by the BeepMD editorial department. This book, released December 13th and priced at 950 yen, compiles information on all 382 MegaDrive and Mega CD games released between October 1988 and November 1993. It promises detailed explanations for each title, alongside coverage of peripheral devices, strategy guides, and even cheats, making it an essential guide for system users. The cover features Sonic the Hedgehog and highlights the vast range of genres included, such as action, shooting, RPG, racing, adventure, puzzle, table, quiz, and pinball games. The bottom section presents the Super Famicom All-Game Catalog, Volume 1. Currently on sale for 950 yen, this volume meticulously documents 421 Super Famicom games released from November 1990 to October 1993. It includes overviews, key points, strategy guide information, and even average scores from the magazine's well-regarded all-game chart. The catalog also covers released peripherals like controllers and joysticks. Similar to the MegaDrive book, it spans a wide array of genres including action, shooting, RPG, simulation, sports, table, racing, puzzle, quiz, and adventure, plus a section on peripherals. Both catalogs are published by SoftBank, offering detailed reference material for fans of these classic systems. This page highlights 2 publications focused on Macintosh entertainment software from SoftBank. The top section features the Macintosh Entertainment Bible 94, a MOOC priced at 2,500 yen. This guide is designed to let users experience popular software via an included CD-ROM. It covers the latest in Mac multimedia, offering insights into CD-ROM titles, a comprehensive guide to game software, tips on customizing your Mac, instructions for creating QuickTime movies, and includes demo versions and original software. The accompanying images show classic Mac titles, including Bally's 8-Ball Deluxe Pinball, giving a glimpse into the types of entertainment covered. The lower section presents Mac Kuru Kuru Game World, a book priced at 2,900 yen that acts as a curated guide to 100 recommended Mac games available online. It covers various genres from simulation to action and card games, and notably includes some of the featured software on 3.5-inch floppy disks, making it easy for readers to get started. Below this, 2 previously released related books are mentioned. Mac Waku Waku Freeware, introducing 185 freeware titles across 2 floppy disks for 2,900 yen, and Mac Raku Raku Utility, explaining 19 standard utilities with 1 floppy disk for 2,700 yen. These SoftBank publications provided valuable resources for Macintosh users interested in expanding their software library, whether for entertainment or productivity. This page showcases the Victor Wonder Mega M2, a high-spec MegaDrive and Mega CD combo system. It highlights its capabilities beyond just gaming, emphasizing its responsiveness for games and fast CD access, while also integrating TV control functions. A key feature promoted is the standard inclusion of a 6-button cordless controller. This wireless pad offers convenient control over the M2 unit itself, including power and reset, as well as basic TV functions like power, volume, and input switching, all from the comfort of your seat. The page notes that adding an optional second pad allows for 2-player gameplay. The display quality is boosted through the use of video output, promising sharp images that make even small text and character movements clear. For audio, the Wonder Mega M2 incorporates a 1-bit DAC, similar to high-end CD players of the era, which is claimed to deliver high-quality sound with a live feel, significantly enhancing character voices and overall sound presence compared to other setups. Beyond games, the system is presented as a multimedia hub, supporting electronic books, music screds, and CDG karaoke, allowing users to enjoy karaoke with graphical backdrops and listen to high-fidelity audio from music screds. This versatile system was priced at 59,800 yen excluding tax. The page also includes some Victor branding related to football sponsorship. This page expands on the Victor Wonder Mega M2 introduced previously, demonstrating its enhanced capabilities beyond just standard gaming. It briefly touches upon the Wonder Library, an electronic book system included with the console that packs a massive amount of reference and leisure data onto a single CRY-DROM, showcasing the unit's multimedia potential. The main focus, however, is on highlighting the amazing VR experience games that amplify the Wonder Mega's appeal. Featured titles include the atmospheric mystery Mansion of Hidden Souls, a virtual cinema game praised for its detailed CG environments and 360-degree views, the infamous interactive movie Night Trap, which immerses players in a live-action thriller requiring quick reactions to save unsuspecting victims, and Microcosm, a visually striking 3D shooter that sends players on a journey through the human body using cutting-edge fractal engine technology. These games are presented as prime examples of how the Wonder Mega elevates the Mega CD gaming experience. This page continues the discussion on the Victor Wonder Mega RGM2, exploring its multifaceted appeal as a fashionable and casual multimedia player. It highlights the unit's compact design and ease of placement, mentioning its price point of 59,800 yen, excluding tax. The page presents 6 key features. 1. A versatile wireless controller that not only handles game input, but also controls the console's power, reset, and even TV power, volume, and video input switching, adding significant convenience. 2. Standards video output for clearer video quality with less color bleed compared to composite. Quote. 3. A capable CD player function utilizing a quality D/A converter, providing sound comparable to dedicated players. Quote. A voice canceller feature allowing users to reduce vocals on music grids for karaoke enjoyment, effectively turning the room into a karaoke box. 5. Compatibility with the Wonder Library electronic book software, sold separately, which offers various reference and leisure titles. 6. Compliance with electromagnetic interference regulations, ensuring minimal disruption to other electronics like TVs and radios. Additionally, there's a personal review section by Eric, who shares his experience with the Wonder Mega M2. He discusses upgrading from a broken machine and choosing the M2 despite its cost, appreciating its technological advancements, particularly the wireless controller's TV control capabilities. He notes the smooth CRY-DROM loading times as a major highlight and feels his game-playing opportunities have increased significantly since acquiring the unit. This page serves as the table of contents and feature highlights for the January 1994 issue, focusing heavily on the Sega Mega Drive and Mega CD library. Prominently featured is a bound-in appendix for Phantasy Star IV, The End of the Millennium. The magazine kicks off with New Release Scramble, covering recent Mega Drive titles including Outrunners, WWF Royal Rumble, and lesser-known Japanese releases like J-League Pro Striker Perfect Edition. Following this is the B Mega Hot menu, reviewing popular games such as Castlevania, Bloodlines, Flashback, Jungle Strike, Awesome Possum, and the critically acclaimed Battlemania Daigenju. A major special feature takes a look back at the turbulent 1993 Mega Drive scene and predicts what's in store for 1994. Special reports cover major titles like Streets of Rage 3, Virtua Racing, Sonic the Hedgehog Spinball, and the Mega CD port of Level Assault and Grindstormer. An urgent special report is dedicated entirely to the highly anticipated Mega CD sequel, Lunar, Eternal Blue. The Mega CD press section introduces a host of new Mega CD releases, including Record of Lodos War, Microcosm, Dungeon Master 2, Skullkeep, and the Japanese RPG classic Shin Megami Tensei. The page concludes with a detailed table of contents, listing various columns, interviews, including one with Sario Yoshima, regular features on topics like Sonic Communication, Treasure Games, Game Gear, and Neo Geo, offering a comprehensive overview of the magazine's diverse content for Mega Drive fans. This page breaks down game sales rankings across the Mega Drive, Mega CD, and Game Gear, alongside a look at the current arcade scene. The home console sales charts show that while new releases are performing well, Popular titles from the previous month are holding their ground, with Mega CD Software showing stable sales. Topping the list is Shining Force 2, The Ancient Seal, followed by Street Fighter 2, Special Champion Edition, and the light gun shooter Lethal Enforcers. Other strong performers include Puyo Puyo, Gunstar Heroes, and Sonic the Hedgehog CD. The chart also features several Game Gear titles like Shining Force Gaiden 2, Sword of Haja, and Power Strike 2, showcasing the handheld's relevance. Flipping over to the arcade world, the rankings highlight a significant debut. Namco's Ridge Racer blasts onto the scene at number 1, its highly realistic 3D graphics drawing considerable attention and perhaps signaling a new era for video games. Despite this groundbreaking entry, 2D fighting games continue to dominate, with Super Street Fighter 2, Fatal Fury Special, and Samurai Showdown all making the top 5, alongside Sega's Outrunners and Namco's Cyber Sled. This page presents user survey data, focusing on games users want ported to the Mega Drive and highly anticipated upcoming releases. The Transplant Wish Game Top 20 shows which titles Mega Drive owners are hoping to see adapted, with arcade hits like Samurai Showdown and Super Street Fighter 2 leading the pack, indicating a strong desire for fighting game ports. The accompanying text notes that more big-name software is being ported, and predicts a popular fighting game port is planned for next year. The long-awaited New Game Top 15 highlights the upcoming releases generating the most buzz. Virtua Racing takes the top spot, showcasing the excitement around its groundbreaking polygon graphics and confirming its two-player mode. Following close are the much-anticipated Phantasy Star IV and the intriguing Yume Magari no Monogatari, suggesting a mix of genres is eagerly awaited by fans. The commentary indicates that the release of these significant titles is expected to shake up the rankings in future issues. The page also features previews of upcoming fighters like Fatal Fury and the brawler Streets of Rage 3, complete with screenshots, showing these are also high on players' radars. This page features the BeepMD Dog Race, a unique review section where games are rated using a dog-based scoring system. The section reviews 2 games, Sonic Spinball and Dragon's Revenge, both pinball titles released on December 10th. Sonic Spinball, an American-developed pinball action game featuring Sonic saving Mobius from Eggman, is highlighted. Reviewers note that while the concept of Sonic in pinball is interesting, the game's physics and movement can feel unnatural, lacking the expected speed and polish. The average score is 6.25 dogs. Dragon's Revenge, a pinball game from Tengen, is also reviewed. This title features 4 areas, where you defeat monsters to rescue allies. The reviewers found this game more engaging, praising its flashy and slightly cult-like presentation, realistic ball physics, and flipper feel. The game also incorporates multi-ball and layouts that expand vertically and horizontally, adding new elements. It receives an average score of 7.5 dogs. The page also includes a brief intro reflecting on 1993 as a year filled with diverse releases, including popular titles like Sylphid and Gunstar Heroes, setting the stage for the 19 games reviewed in this end-of-year feature. A section explains the scoring system, where odds out of 10 are represented by the number of dogs, with higher average dogs indicating a better overall evaluation by the 4 reviewers. This page continues the BeepMD Dog Race review section, featuring 4 more games from late 1993. First up is Boogie Woogie Bowling, the first bowling game on the Mega Drive. Reviewers found the controls simple, but the physics unnatural, and the graphics basic, leading to an average score of 5.5 dogs. Next is J-League Pro Striker Kanzenban, an updated soccer game with new data and modes. It was praised for improved gameplay and the inclusion of real player names, averaging a score of 7.0 dogs and being considered the best in the series so far. The highly anticipated Phantasy Star IV, The End of the Millennium, is also reviewed. This RPG concludes the series storyline and receives strong praise for its classic RPG style, anime visuals, story, and characters, earning an impressive average of 8.0 dogs. Finally, Jungle Strike, the sequel to Desert Strike, is featured. Reviewers noted its challenging helicopter controls, but appreciated the variety of vehicles and strategic gameplay, giving it an average score of 6.5 dogs. The page uses the familiar dog rating system to represent reviewer scores out of 10. 4 more BeepMD Dog Race games are reviewed. Awesome Possum, an action game, received an average 5.5 dogs due to rough controls and unbalanced difficulty, despite some fun animal riding. Metal Fang, a futuristic racing game, earned a similar 5.5 dogs, praised for its concept, but criticized for dated graphics and repetitive gameplay. True Golf Classics, a golf game port, scored 7.25 dogs, lauded for its faithful course recreations and stable gameplay, though the graphics were considered jerky. Finally, Flashback, The Quest for Identity, a sci-fi adventure port, received a 7.25 dog score, impressed by its smooth animation and rewarding puzzles, but noted its high difficulty. This page continues the BeepMD race reviews, covering 4 more diverse titles. First up is Battlemania Daiginjo, the sequel to the quirky shooter Troubleshooter. It keeps the unique style and introduces a new system, earning an average score of 6.5 dogs. The review notes some difficult parts for newcomers, but ultimately finds it fun and addictive, despite mixed feelings on the gag humor. Next is Maten no Sumetsu, an RPG. The review feels its content is somewhat like a Super Famicom RPG, criticizing dated graphics and gameplay mechanics, leading to a score of 5.5 dogs. Moving on to Mega CD titles, Mansion of Hidden Souls, an interactive movie, receives a high score of 8.25 dogs. It's praised for its immersive atmosphere, visuals, and storytelling, making it a worthwhile experience, despite limited gameplay. Finally, Psychic Detective Series Volume 4, or GEL, an adventure game, scores 6.25 dogs. The animation and the DAPS replay feature are highlighted, but the review notes frustrating sections and a strange turn in the plot later in the game. This review covers 4 Gear games. Nazopuyo 2, a puzzle game with 200 new challenges, earned 6.5 dogs, praised for its addictive nature. Taisen Mahjong Kuha 2, a Mahjong sequel with unique battles, scores 5.75 dogs, despite potentially being too easy for veterans. Deep Duck Trouble, a Donald Duck action game, earns 6.5 dogs, offering decent graphics and engaging gameplay. Finally, Faceball 2000, a port of an Atari Street game, gets 6.25 dogs, surprisingly addictive, despite its simple graphics and gameplay. This page features a multi-platform focus, highlighting new releases and recommendations across Sega's systems. The main review covers the Game Gear version of Mortal Kombat, noting its impressive port quality with large character sprites and faithful recreation of special moves and the violent atmosphere from the arcade original. However, it criticizes the control scheme, specifically using the start button for defense, which impacts playability, despite the overall fun factor and inclusion of a versus mode. The game receives an average score of 7.0 odds, with individual reviewer ratings ranging from 5 to 8 dogs. The page also offers recommendations for the Mega Drive, Mega CD, and Game Gear heading into the end of the year. Key titles mentioned for Mega Drive include Phantasy Star, Dragon's Revenge, J.League Pro Striker, Flashback, Masters of Augusta, Sonic the Hedgehog Spinball, and Jungle Strike. The Mega CD section highlights Night Trap and Yumemi Akata. For Game Gear, Mortal Kombat is highly recommended again, alongside Deep Duck Trouble and Nazo Puyo 2 from the previous page. Overall, the sentiment is positive, celebrating a strong lineup of games across all platforms, particularly noting the increased vitality and quality of third-party support for Game Gear software. The BeepMD Reader Race compiles reader ratings of Mega Drive games on a 10-point scale, creating a dynamic popularity ranking. Games require at least 10 votes to appear. Featured titles include Winning Post 21, praised for horse racing but criticized for slow races; Goka World Cup 112, noted for card play but lacking character depth; Wizard of Immortal 137, with graphic deaths but frustrating traps; and Warao Salesman 137, an anime-based game praised by fans but with rough animation. Top 8 rankings remain stable, but changes are expected. Valise 21, 251, while visually appealing, lacks substance and becomes less engaging. This page continues the BeepMD Reader Race rankings, highlighting specific games based on reader votes. It features games considered challenger potential longshots, like Shogi no Hoshi, an unexpected shogi game praised for a fun adventure mode, and music referencing Tensai Bakaban, though criticized for its AI and disappointing ending. Cyborg 009 is also featured here, largely panned for stiff visuals and poor gameplay, with complaints about unused characters and a blank manual. The page also warns readers about cautionary games, such as Fist of the North Star, which, despite realistic characters, suffers from repetitive combat and a lack of variety in boss moves. Street Smart is also highlighted as a fighting game that fails to deliver, lacking excitement and polish despite borrowing ideas from titles like Street Fighter II. The main ranking section lists games from 61 down to 136, showcasing the shifting popularity based on reader scores. This diverse list includes well-known titles like Streets of Rage, World of Illusion, Romance of the Three Kingdoms 2, Outrun, Mercs, Rocket Knight Adventures, and Fatal Fury, alongside many others across various genres, reflecting the dynamic nature of the reader-driven chart. The page concludes with short reader comments on different games and aspects of the Mega Drive scene. This page continues the Mega Drive Reader Race Rankings, listing games further down the chart from 137 to 212, covering a mix of genres like action, sports, RPGs, and more, reflecting the diverse tastes of the readers. The main focus is a detailed look at Lunar, the silver star for the Mega CD, featured in the famous horse stable section, written by London Kobayashi. The review highly praises the game as a quality RPG and a standout title for the Mega CD hardware, particularly noting the appealing character designs by Toshiyuki Kubuka, while highlighting its high production values and game art's expertise in utilizing the QDROM format for fast loading times and smooth encounters. The reviewer suggests it might not feel quite as epic or adventurous compared to heavyweight RPGs like Dragon Quest or Tengai Meikyu. Additional data confirms Lunar's success, noting its strong sales and consistent high ranking in the polls. Reader comments are generally positive, appreciating the music and overall system, although some found it a bit simple or short compared to their expectations, labeling it more of a standard game or suitable for beginners. Despite this, there's clear anticipation for a potential sequel. This game clearly made a significant impact as an early benchmark for RPGs on the Mega CD. This page features more reviews and insights into games, starting with the Mega Drive Reader Race Rankings continuing down the list. It then presents a look at Telltale Mahjong, highlighted in the middle ranking horse betting section, where reviewer Yoichi Shibuya discusses the game, noting its online play capability via the Mega Modem as a key feature, alongside personal reflections on Mahjong. Another staff pick, My Recommended Horse, focuses on the magical quest starring Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck, praising its charming Disney presentation and action gameplay with magic abilities. The advantageous horse betting segment spotlights Toe Jam and Earl, an initially expensive but now more affordable game, celebrated for its unique style and sound. Finally, the resting horse chart briefly mentions Steel Talons, noting its status might be due to a lack of participants for competitive play. The next page continues the Mega Drive Reader Race Rankings, showing games further down the list in the odds chart. More interestingly, it unveils the top 10 software by reader votes, a new ranking based on cumulative votes over the past 3 years. Topping the list is Sonic the Hedgehog, followed by Shining Force and Super Monaco GP. The results also include Puyo Puyo and Lunar. Accompanying screenshots showcase Sonic and Puyo Puyo. A discussion compares this reader popularity ranking to actual Mega Drive sales charts, noting surprising similarities and highlighting how user reactions differ, especially for CD titles like Lunar. The page also briefly touches upon games at the very bottom of the rankings, like Sword of Sodan. Furthermore, 2 reader participation games are introduced, predicting the ranking of Sega CD's Night Trap, shown with a screenshot, and predicting the average reader score for the Mega CD RPG VE, Armored Princess, also with screenshots. Finally, the editorial team provides an overall review of the year's reader race, commenting on the relative stability of the rankings, and looking forward to the new hardware coming next year. This page dives into the world of the J.League, likely as a tie to the Mega Calcio soccer game series on the Mega Drive. Action-packed photos from recent matches capture the intensity of the Japanese football season. The text reports on key games, highlighting exciting moments, like the Jeff United Ichihara versus Urawa Reds match that went into extra time. It also presents the current J.League standings, showing the top teams like Verdy Kawasaki and Shimizu Spulse, and lists the league's top scorers, featuring prominent players such as Dias and Alshindo. The page also includes a Mega Calcio quiz, a contest where readers predict the outcomes of upcoming J.League matches for prizes, reflecting the magazine's engagement with its football-loving readership. This page is packed with Sega news and information, starting with a big announcement about Sega's development of a game delivery system using CATV, essentially the early stages of what would become Sega Channel. They were already testing this service in Tokyo, aiming for nationwide commercialization. There's a diagram showing how it works, and a screenshot of the interface, looking like a channel selection menu for games. Further down, there's news about Yamaha collaborating with Sega to enhance music capabilities for future hardware, hinting at improved sound chips or interfaces. On the music front, the band Buniev, formed by former SST members, is highlighted for their work on game soundtracks, specifically mentioning music from classics like Virtual Racing and Outrunners. Finally, the page covers a virtual cinema event hosted by Sega, showcasing the FMV Game Night Trap on a massive screen. An industry talk show discussing the evolution of games also took place, featuring specialists in the field. It's clear Sega was actively exploring new technologies and distribution methods beyond traditional cartridge releases. Sega's Puyo Puyo Fez 93 event in Tokyo was a huge success, hinting at potential new announcements. Capcom is holding a voice actor poll for their upcoming Street Fighter II movie. A new Rock-on Bazooka peripheral is coming for the arcade shooter, enhancing gameplay. F1 driver Damon Hill visited Sega for F1 game development advice. Victor released affordable HPW 330S cordless headphones. Softmap's Akihabara store features a robust Sega corner with MegaDrive software and expanding to include international releases. Finally, new music crids and a special offer for BeepMD readers visiting the Softmap store are noted. This page presents the BeepMD CM Detective Team's analysis of television commercials. Featured this time are the CMS for Mortal Kombat and Sonic and Tails. The Mortal Kombat CM, airing from December 93 to February 94, is noted for its incredibly fast pace. Originally from the US, the Japanese version was heavily edited, cramming an astounding 64 cuts into just 30 seconds, double the rate of the US version. The aim is to aggressively embed the game's title and logo into the viewer's mind through this hyperspeed montage of action and visuals, showcasing various characters and scenes from the game. The Sonic and Tails CM, airing from November 93, focuses on comedic antics involving Eggman, Drive Robotnik in the West, Sonic, and Tails. It highlights the game's availability on Game Gear. The commentary notes that Eggman's yelling in the CM was actually done by the production staff, and the CM uses CG to enhance Eggman's appearance. The overall impression is a fun, energetic CM aimed at a younger audience, emphasizing the game's action and the beloved characters. The side commentary discusses the intense editing of the Mortal Kombat CM and the character focus in the Sonic and Tails ad. This page covers the 1993 F1 Grand Prix in Japan, held from October 22nd to 24th. The main visual features a close-up of the Marlboro McLaren, driven by Ayrton Senna, alongside photos of Alain Proust's Williams and Mika Häkkinen's McLaren. The text highlights the excitement of the event at Suzuka Circuit, attended by over 150,000 people. It focuses on the intense battle between Senna, Proust, and Häkkinen, describing the qualifying sessions and the race itself. Alain Prost secured pole position, but in the race, Ayrton Senna took the lead early on. The article emphasizes Senna's victory, particularly noting the impact of rain which favored him, earning him the nickname Senna of the Rain. The final podium saw Senna in first place, Proust in second, and Häkkinen in third, described as the 123 of their respective generations, capturing the moment of veteran champions and rising talent. Additional images show Alain Prost's Williams car after the race, featuring Sega sponsorship, and scene-setting photos including race queens and a large caricature of Ayrton Senna. This page introduces the highly anticipated arcade game, Virtua Fighter, urging readers to rush to the arcade to experience it. It highlights the game as a groundbreaking 3D polygonal fighting action title developed by Sega AM2. The article emphasizes the game's realistic techniques, simple 3-button control scheme, guard, punch, and kick, and exhilarating high-speed combat. Basic rules are explained, including winning conditions like knockout or ring-out, and the importance of mastering fundamental techniques like guarding. The page features multiple screenshots showcasing the game's polygonal graphics, and characters like Jackie, Cage, Wolf, and Sarah in action. It conveys the excitement surrounding the game's arrival, and its significant impact on the arcade scene. This page continues the introduction to Virtua Fighter, focusing on the main character Akira and his explosive Bajiquan martial art. It prominently announces the launch of the AM2 brand, signaling a new era for Sega's arcade development and highlighting the significant internal backing for this division and its premier title. The article features commentary from the legendary Yu Suzuki, head of Sega AM2, who discusses the game's development. He mentions the challenges of adding new techniques and the excitement generated during location tests held within the Sega lobby, where employees would gather to play after hours. Suzuki emphasizes the game's design caters to players of all skill levels. Beginners can enjoy the simple controls and accidental successes through button mashing, while advanced players will master complex command inputs and situational techniques. Screenshots show Akira fighting various opponents. The text notes the game's focus on realistic techniques and mentions characters like Jackie and Sarah have moves resembling Bruce Lee's style. Other characters like Lau and Pai are highlighted for their flashy techniques, while Akira, Cage, Jeffrey, and Wolf are mentioned as having strong special moves, making advanced play particularly rewarding. The page concludes with a photo of Yu Suzuki proudly standing by a Virtua Fighter arcade cabinet, inviting players to experience the game for themselves at the arcade. This page features an interview with artist Sario Kijima, accompanied by a photo. The article covers her musical journey, including her aspiration to release a full album, and her desire to express her true self and feelings about modern society through her songs. She hopes listeners can feel the same emotion she put into creating and performing her music. Sario also discusses her interest in games, mentioning that she often goes to game centers and enjoys playing UFO catchers, fortune-telling games, quizzes, and races. She recalls the Famicom boom, but notes that not getting one when she was young lessened her attachment to games later on. The interview highlights her third single, In Sala, Red Sand, which was released on December 17th and is the CM song for Kosei Arena. She explains the song title is an African place name representing the desert's solitude and harshness, which she connected to the feelings of the song's protagonist. The track has an ethnic and Latin feel with an image of red. She hopes the song can be enjoyed through karaoke, used to release stress, or serve as spiritual medicine. A smaller section provides her profile details, including her birth date, February 19, 1974, blood type, O, height, 160 centimeters, and measurements. It also lists her appearances on the Tokyo FM radio show, Russo Russo, and upcoming Christmas special mini-lives in Osaka, 12/18, Nagoya, 12/19, and Tokyo, 12/25. This page is dedicated to the highly anticipated third entry in the legendary beat-em-up series, Bare Knuckle 2 Eyes, known internationally as Streets of Rage 3. It highlights the game's upcoming release and impressive features. The article emphasizes that this installment is the culmination of the series, boasting a massive 24 MB cartridge size, leading to incredibly detailed graphics and fluid animation, with player characters reportedly taking up 8 MB and bosses 6 MB. Key features include the welcome return of two-player co-op, a new versus mode, and weapon-specific special moves, adding layers of depth beyond the standard attacks. The text also praises the music, again composed by Yuzo Koshiro, promising a soundscape that transcends typical game music. The storyline picks up after the events of the previous games, with Axel and Blaze returning to confront Mr. X and a new shadowy organization, aided by the cyborg Zan and Skate. There are also brief summaries of the first two games, Streets of Rage and Streets of Rage 2, detailing their release dates and core features like two-player simultaneous play and the introduction of new characters like Skate. Overall, the page conveys immense excitement and anticipation for Streets of Rage 3, positioning it as a must-have title for Mega Drive owners. This page presents the core playable roster for the highly anticipated Streets of Rage 3. It profiles the returning heroes, Axel Stone and Blaze Fielding, alongside the familiar face of Sammy Hunter, known internationally as Skate, and introduces the brand new cyborg character, Zan. Axel and Blaze are highlighted with descriptions of their refined appearances and combat prowess. Axel, the martial arts expert, boasts a powerful fighting style, while Blaze, skilled in Eastern martial arts, is noted for her balanced attributes and effective long-range kicks. Skate, Adam Hunter's younger brother, returns, described as having shed some childishness from the previous game, relying on his speed and agility. The mysterious Zan is introduced as a modified cyborg who sought help from the heroes to stop a conspiracy within the organization he worked for, possessing powerful, non-human abilities. Screenshots showcase a variety of each character's moves, including both returning favorites and new special attacks indicated in red text. For instance, Axel demonstrates his Dragon Wing and Dragon Smash. Blaze shows off moves like Kikushou and Hishou Hakure. Skate performs Corkscrew Kick and Double Spin Kick, and Zan utilizes Power Spark and Thunderbolt. A final section ponders the fate of other series mainstays like Adam, Max, and the Police special ability, suggesting they may not be directly playable in this installment, but play important roles nonetheless. It humorously questions if Adam has been kidnapped again, and expresses surprise at Sammy/Skate returning. Streets of Rage 3 expands beyond its character roster with new bosses, returning foes, and increased difficulty, cooperative techniques, powerful weapon special moves, and levelable special attacks aid players. The game's 7-stage structure, each with multiple areas, creates branching paths and high replayability. Stages include a train sequence, construction site, and motorcycle race. Returning characters like Axel and Blaze have subtle but impactful aesthetic changes. Gameplay improvements include more varied cooperative attacks, unique weapon-specific special moves, and humorous consequences for failed team attacks. The Sega Activator is also supported. The next page dives into the latest details on the Mega Drive port of Virtua Racing. The big news is that development is now nearing completion, with a March release targeted. The page gives us the first look at the highly anticipated two-player battle mode through split-screen screenshots. In this mode, players are clearly distinguished, the leader gets a flag, and adjustable elements include lap count and tire grip difficulty. The article notes that while some background details are simplified in two-player mode, it doesn't hinder gameplay. Support for the 6-button controller is confirmed. The page also features a VR fan feedback section, discussing reader requests for features like auto camera switching, different car models, and weather effects. Sega staff weigh in, acknowledging technical difficulties, particularly regarding features like replays and rear-view mirrors due to hardware limitations, but express interest in ideas like automatic camera views. This page features a special report on the upcoming Japanese release of LucasArts' highly anticipated game, Star Wars Rebel Assault. This is described as a hot topic battle sequence game and an interactive movie where players step into the cockpit as a rebel pilot fighting against the Empire led by Darth Vader. The game leverages the Klydrom format to heavily incorporate footage and audio from the original Star Wars movies, specifically episodes IV and V, creating a cinematic experience. Published in Japan by Victor Entertainment, it's scheduled for release in April for 8,800 yen. The article highlights the game's structure, which includes 15 stages total, with 3 dedicated practice levels perfect for beginners. The story follows key moments from the original trilogy, featuring dramatic video sequences at the start and end of stages. Screenshots showcase various gameplay scenarios, including flying through rugged canyons on planet Krolodor, navigating treacherous asteroid fields during an asteroid chase, battling TIE fighters in a TIE attack, and attempting to infiltrate the dreaded Death Star. The visuals shown, particularly for stages like the Death Star run, are noted as quite impressive and highly anticipated. This is a game focused on intense rail shooting action, set within the beloved Star Wars universe. This page features a special report on the anticipated game, Sonic Spinball. Building on the pinball elements seen in games like Sonic the Hedgehog 2, this title is a full-fledged action pinball game where Sonic himself becomes the ball. The story involves Sonic navigating Drive Robotnik's pinball-style defense system on Mobius to collect the Chaos Emeralds and defeat the villain. Unlike traditional pinballs, Sonic can move freely on flat surfaces, walking and jumping, and even has some control when in ball form. The game consists of 4 main stages, each a large, multi-screen pinball machine. The article highlights the unique stages, from a damp underground area to levels themed around magma and mechanical structures, culminating in a confrontation with Dr. Robotnik. A key feature noted is the player's ability to recover by jumping back onto the table if Sonic falls to the floor in certain areas, which is a welcome mechanic departing from typical pinball game overs. The game is set to release on December 10th from Sega. This page presents a detailed look at the structure of the very first stage in Sonic Spinball. Following on from the overview, we see the full map of Stage 1, a huge, vertically oriented pinball machine. The article suggests reading the map and breakdown from the bottom up, mirroring the progression through the level. You start at the bottom and work your way upwards through various interconnected areas. A crucial part of the stage is a minecart system used to travel between different sections. This system is key to navigating the complex layout and finding all the Chaos Emeralds hidden within the level. Collecting every Chaos Emerald is mandatory before you can face the stage boss, described here as the sudden climax. Defeating Drive Robotnik's machine clears the stage. The level is filled with pinball elements, traps, and challenges that require strategic use of Sonic's ball form and platforming skills to progress and uncover the emeralds. This page delivers exciting news. The intense vertical shooter Grindstormer, known in Japan as VV, pronounced V5, is officially coming to the Sega Mega Drive. This port, handled by Tenjin, is based on the overseas version of the original Toplan arcade hit, specifically the Grindstormer iteration, rather than the domestic VV. The article highlights that the overseas version was chosen because its item-based power-up system, similar to Slapfight, was deemed more focused on the core gameplay compared to VV's gauge system. Screenshots showcase the game's detailed pixel art and various weapon types, including the primary shot, missiles, and a unique search weapon. The port is expected to be a significant technical achievement for the system, representing a potential revival of the Mega Drive's golden age of shooters. While difficulty settings are planned, the game is known for being tough, so players should prepare for a serious challenge. Grindstormer is scheduled for a spring release, though pricing is still undecided. This page presents a new release scramble, covering several upcoming games, with the main focus clearly on the updated J.League Pro Striker Complete Edition. Hailed as a significant hit for Sega's sports lineup, this new version addresses shortcomings of the original by including the absolute latest data as of December 17th. The review notes that this version resolves previous issues, particularly regarding player data accuracy, making it a game well worth paying attention to. It comes bundled with the Sega Tap, allowing for exciting multiplayer matches, and also features an all-star game mode for top-level competition. Screenshots display the familiar overhead perspective of the soccer gameplay. The page also briefly touches upon several other titles joining the release lineup, including Outrunners, Nobunaga's Ambition, Lord of Darkness, Great Conflict, The Flag and Hole Augusta, Boogie Woogie Bowling, WWF Royal Rumble, and Demon Crystal. This page continues the new release scramble, highlighting more upcoming Mega Drive titles. First up is Sega's hit arcade racer, Outrunners, confirmed for a cartridge port. Notably, the Mega Drive version will support two-player simultaneous play with a split-screen display. The review expresses curiosity about how faithfully the home version will reproduce the arcade's stunning visuals, showing off gameplay screenshots and even an image of the impressive multi-cabinet arcade setup. Next is Nobunaga's Ambition, Lord of Darkness, the latest entry in Koei's popular historical simulation series. This iteration covers all of Japan, featuring 64 provinces and 110 castles, with around 900 historical figures. Players can experience the life of Oda Nobunaga, with 3 scenarios and support for up to 8 players. Screenshots display the strategic map, character portraits, and diplomacy screens. Finally, EA Victor presents Great Conflict, described as a unique action game with a new wave approach. It's not a typical action title. Instead, players act as a general, directing units in fixed-screen battles rather than controlling soldiers directly. The combat involves teams of 5, facing off until one is wiped out. The page shows character art, a battlefield map, and gameplay screens of the strategic combat. This article highlights upcoming game releases, starting with Harukanaru Augusta, Masters Golf Sim, Boogie Woogie Bowling, bowling with opponent interference, WWF Royal Rumble, wrestling game with notable stars, and Maiten no Sumetsu, RPG focusing on the protagonist's birth and mission. The new release spillover information section discusses potential delays for early 1993 releases, possibly leading to a concentrated release period in February and March. It also previews Game Gear titles like Buster Fight, Ninja, and a Battletoads port, along with sports games like Champions, World Class Soccer, and NBA Jam. This page delves into the Laseractive library, showcasing titles for the unique platform that combined Laserdisc with Mega Drive capabilities. It highlights the unexpected December 10th release of Virtual Cameraman, noted as the first adult game software for the system and presented as an example of interactive movie direction. In this title, players take on the role of a cameraman tasked with photographing 8 different girls encountered on the street, with scoring based on capturing good moments. Success can lead to opportunities for more revealing photo sessions in private settings. Also featured is Rocket Coaster, a game by Taito, slated for December 20th, which utilizes the Laserdisc's playback speed manipulation to create a realistic sense of speed in a time trial formats. Screenshots show varied environments including fantasy, adventure, and futuristic themes. Finally, the page briefly touches upon 3D Museum, an upcoming title from Pioneer planned for February, promising various virtual experiences and the inclusion of 3D glasses for enhanced viewing. This lineup suggests the Laseractive library was exploring diverse genres, including adult-oriented content and visually intensive experiences, leveraging the LD format. This page features the Beep Land column, acting as a community corner. The main focus is the Mega Talk section, hosted by DJ equals Nemo, where readers share their thoughts and experiences. The letters reveal several key themes among Mega Drive users at the time. Many express frustration with the lack of fellow Mega Drive owners and the prevalence of Super Famicom discussions, sometimes likening the rivalry to a sports team constantly losing. Readers mention specific games and hardware like the Mega CD and ponder how to increase the console's popularity, even suggesting recruiting female users. Technical discussions appear, such as obtaining games through means other than purchase and modifying consoles, like adding an S-Video terminal. Games like Shining Force and Miracle Force are mentioned. Also featured is the This Month's BGM background music section, which highlights the music from the sumo game Ahare Manada. It notes that listening to the soundtrack, particularly with a hidden technique, can be quite an intense experience. This page features the MD Rumors and Truth column, sharing anecdotes about Sega Mega Drive games like Streets of Rage, Bare Knuckle, including a developer nickname for a move, a rumor about who appeared in a commercial, and a note about a game's price and music. It also includes reader illustrations in the Illustration City section, featuring fan art of various characters, such as those from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and possibly other games, with comments from the contributors and editors. Another section discusses the Pitfall series, tracing its history and various releases across different platforms, highlighting its gameplay mechanics and impact. Finally, there's an announcement for a gathering or feature focusing on longtime Sega fans. The overall tone is community-focused, sharing insider-like information, fan creativity, and nostalgic reflections on classic games. This page delves into a truly bizarre corner of the Mega Drive world, highlighting something called Harima Gymnastics No. 1, which apparently shocked the music scene. The article describes it as a big pinch for the column, something that goes far beyond common sense. It touches on development issues and mentions the unique Ayashige Japanese sound, which is characterized by percussion and sampled voices, creating a distinctive musical worldview. The visuals, depicted in the included images, show giant, exaggerated sumo wrestlers in what's called a hellish picture, moving wildly across the screen. The game, despite appearing in a reader poll under sports, is hard to classify due to its unusual content. There's even mention of a hidden Harima Gymnastics No. 1 mode, accessed via a password, which sounds more like a bizarre show than a typical game. But adjacent sections include the Info Corner, gathering user gossip, asking for information on rare and strange Mega Drive items, and calling for lyrics or parodies of Mega Drive game music. Below, the results of the CCZ illustration contest are announced, where readers submitted artwork with a techno-like atmosphere, with a winner who drew Space Shower from the classic shoot-'em-up Lightning Force. The page captures the unique, often quirky, culture surrounding the Mega Drive and its fanbase. This page features this month's discussion, asking if Sega needs Sailor Moon software on the Mega Drive. The article explores the debate around adapting popular anime and manga properties to games, questioning the necessity and potential quality on the platform, while acknowledging their popularity, referencing titles like Dragon Ball Z, The Megas, and A Word from BP sections compile various reader opinions. Users discuss the importance of timely releases for popular series, the perceived strength of Sega's own characters, and the need for quality over relying solely on a license for character games. There are also comments on other consoles like the PC Engine and Saturn, the state of the industry, and general anecdotes. A section titled, This is How I Saw Virtual Cinema, calls for reader feedback on COD-ROM-based games and experiences, mentioning titles like Night Trap and The Mansion of Hidden Souls, Yume Miyakata no Monogatari, as examples of this emerging format. Finally, Illustration City Part 2 displays reader-submitted artwork, featuring characters and scenes, reflecting the creative engagement of the magazine's audience. The page offers a snapshot of fan discussion and interaction within the Mega Drive community. This page features R's Voice, a section dedicated to reader feedback. Gamers share their thoughts on current and upcoming Mega Drive titles and Sega's strategies. Readers express excitement for the Phantasy Star series, including re-releases, and discuss the difficulty of obtaining older, quality software like Super Fantasy Zone. There are calls for Sega to better utilize peripherals, like the Sega Tab, and release more diverse software, such as racing or sports games. Comments highlight the perceived rivalry between Mega Drive users and those on other platforms, and some readers differentiate serious fans from casual players. Space Harrier is mentioned with a desire for a new entry, and the Sonic CD commercial is praised for its atmosphere, though the game title is hard to hear. There's discussion about fighting game ports, suggesting a preference for unique choices like Last Resort over typical fighting game conversions, referencing the previous page's context of fighting games like Art of Fighting. The page includes illustrations featuring characters from the Phantasy Star series, possibly from fighting games, and original fan art. A section announces winners for a software giveaway and provides details for submitting feedback to the magazine. Overall, it captures the passionate opinions and hopes of the Mega Drive community at the time. This page features the Page Jack Corner, giving third-party companies space to express themselves. This time, Electronic Arts Victor takes the stage. With a piece from their public relations department, the author discusses the advent of new hardware like the Mega CD, and the concepts of multimedia and interactive media. They express cautious optimism, noting that while enhanced hardware allows for better graphics and sound, true innovation comes from creative ideas. The author questions whether simply pushing for hyperrealism, such as bringing characters like Sonic or Mario to life in photorealistic ways, truly makes games more fun. They argue that imagination is key, and that new hardware should enable novel gameplay experiences, not just prettier versions of existing ones. The bottom of the page features a section from Acclaim Japan, humorously titled, "Won't You Come Too?" to the marketing flower garden. It includes cartoon caricatures of the Acclaim Japan staff, each labeled with their role or a quirky description, such as the marketing department manager, the sales manager, and someone who really likes the Mortal Kombat costume. This part offers a lighthearted look at the people behind the company. The small print confirms the corner's purpose, allowing third parties freedom to use the page as they wish. This page continues the Wonderful Corner feature, where third-party companies get a chance to speak freely. The first section is presented by Koei and highlights their game Aerobiz, titled Air Management 2 here. Through comic panels, characters dream of overseas travel, then find they can experience it virtually through the game. The text notes the current challenging climate for the game industry, but emphasizes that this corner allows developers to share their passions beyond just promotions. The second, more substantial section is from Victor Entertainment, provocatively titled, Are You Listening to Heavy Metal? The author champions heavy metal music, arguing that it's crucial for young people, contrasting it with popular Japanese bands like Zard and Bizarre. They specifically call out the Brazilian power metal band Angra, featuring an image of their debut album Angel's Cry, and mention other influential bands like Metallica and Japanese hardcore acts Outrage and SOB. The author believes that society feels unhealthy if young people don't feel the need to explore heavier music, asserting that listening to heavy metal is essential for finding oneself. This page features the Planet Sega Stadium column, presented by Sega. It opens with "Thanks for reader feedback," noting questions about Sega World events and the status of the Mega Drive title Burning Force, originally announced for the 6-button pad. The author reflects on the dilemma of owning all the Mega Drive software but lacking time to play. A recent staff gathering is recounted, including karaoke with Treasure staff, and discussion of projects like adapting Night Trap into manga and holding preview screenings for it. A prominent section focuses on identifying the Joy Joy telephone gal, the voice talent behind Sega's phone information service and video magazine. Photos of 4 candidates are shown. The answer reveals entry number 3, Ji-chan, is the correct person, identified as Minako Fuji, who provides narration for both services. The humorous reveal follows, showing behind-the-scenes photos of entry number 4, A-chan, being transformed with makeup, ultimately disclosing that A-chan was actually a man in disguise, adding a playful twist to the contest. This page reports on the Sega 3x3 Eyes Thank You event held in Kyoto on November 3rd, following similar events in Nagoya and Tokyo, inviting a total of 3,000 fans who purchased the Mega Drive game 3x3 Eyes. The event featured popular voice actress and singer Megumi Hayashibara, who voices the main character Pain in the game. Shipota from Sega hosted the event, which included segments like a recorded talk show for the Heartful Station radio program, a screening of the Bano Bunka Neko Musume video, a Sega Corner, and a game tournament. Photos show Hayashibara singing on stage and participating in talks. Another image features the Sega mascot Iluka, known from Echo the Dolphin, adding a playful element. Hayashibara reportedly sang 3 songs, and the atmosphere was lively and enthusiastic. A sidebar invites readers to contribute ideas for magazine segments, such as a corner for Megumi Hayashibara, or a section for Sega-related stories and artwork, offering a chance to win a rare Sega video magazine. The event clearly capitalized on the popularity of both the 3x3 Eyes game and its beloved voice actress, providing fans with a memorable interactive experience. This page features the Sonic Communications column, kicking off with a humorous report about someone named Taguchi, who was supposedly arrested at Haneda Airport after returning from a Hawaii trip tied to the completion of Shining Force 2 Candelas, referred to as Force 2 Candelas. The investigation reveals he was merely questioned by customs, reportedly for bringing back some questionable books. Supporting accounts from a friend and accompanying photos lean into the joke, labeling individuals as accomplice and criminal. The page also includes the Sonic Sushin Mania section, showcasing fan contributions, primarily character illustrations from the Shining Force series, and encouraging players to make all characters allies during a second playthrough of Shining Force 2. A small comic strip rounds out the page, referencing Taguchi's incident and discussing a company trip. This page is Act 27 of the Sega Falcom Communications column, focusing on titles published by Sega for Falcom. It features a Q&A session about the upcoming Sega CD release of Popful Mail, answering fan questions about the game's development and features. The developers detail how the Sega CD version differs significantly from others, incorporating voice acting, enhanced magic and item effects, and revised maps, making it feel like a distinct experience, despite its visual similarities. They also provide updates on the game's progress, and mention the development of Hyperload Monarch. The page includes a personal story from Sega director Yakino, sharing his unique experience working undercover at Sega's Jigo arcade centers for job training, offering a behind-the-scenes look at operations, and humorously encouraging players to purchase Popful Mail. An illustration of Popful Mail characters is also present, and the column teases a potential spring release for both Popful Mail and Hyperload Monarch. This page is a large mail-order advertisement from Sega Santa, listing prices for Sega Mega Drive, Mega CD, and Game Gear games and hardware, with details on ordering and shipping. This page presents a comprehensive feature on Phantasy Star IV, The End of the Millennium, appearing as special Part 2 of a Bound-In supplement. The vibrant key art prominently displays the game's main cast, including Chaz, Alice, Rune, Rika, and Ren. Scattered throughout the page are multiple screenshots providing glimpses of gameplay, showcasing town and dungeon exploration, character interactions via dialogue boxes, and battle sequences, highlighting the game's detailed sprite work and interface. The article provides essential details about this epic RPG, confirming its release date as December 17th, and its price as 8,800 yen on a large 24 megabit cartridge. This segment continues. The exploration of the game started in the previous issue, offering fans an in-depth look at what was to come. Phantasy Star IV continues, focusing on Akalis and her new partner Chaz, who receive a request to clear monsters invading Motavia Academy. The principal's unease, and a scholar, Han, seeking answers to his mentor's disappearance, lead them into the academy basement. But Han joins the party, suspecting a connection between the monsters and the professor's disappearance, setting the stage for a larger mystery. The page includes screenshots of key moments, showcasing character interactions and the game's environment. The next page continues the journey in Phantasy Star IV. After clearing the Motavia Academy basement, defeating the boss Iglanova, which splits into Zelafir, Chaz and Alice question the principal about the mysterious capsule found there. It's revealed the capsule was retrieved by a research team, but they were petrified by a dark sorcerer named Zezio. This confirms Zio's involvement in the incident and Professor Holt's disappearance. Following leads, the party travels towards Paseo, stopping in Miletown, where they hear disturbing rumors about Zima Village. They investigate Zima and find the entire village turned to stone, confirming Zio's cruelty. Their quest leads them deeper into the Valley of Life near Paseo, which is a cave system. Here, they find more petrified researchers, and finally discover Professor Holt himself, also turned to stone. Learning that Zio was responsible, their immediate goal becomes finding a way to lift the petrification. The page features portraits of Chaz and Han, a visual representation and dialogue of the villain Zio, and screenshots showcasing exploration and key story moments. The next page continues the exploration of the world of Phantasy Star IV. Focusing on the Algol solar system itself, it reveals the tragic history of the system, explaining that it originally had 3 planets: Palma, Motavia, and Dazorus. However, the first planet, Palma, was destroyed in the distant past when the artificial satellite Gyra from Phantasy Star II crashed into it. Now, in the current time of AW 2284, only Motavia and Dazorus remain, with Palma reduced to an asteroid belt, a stark reminder of past events. The page features a map of a continent, likely on Motavia, and artwork showcasing 3 of the main characters: Chaz, the protagonist, Rika, and Ren. The text confirms that a total of 8 main characters are involved in the story. While Rune, Rika, and Ren have been featured, the page hints at the roles of others yet to appear, including Kyra, noted for her resemblance to Shur from Phantasy Star II, and Fall, reminiscent of Nei from Phantasy Star II. Their specific involvement is currently a mystery, promising exciting reveals as the game's story unfolds. The page concludes by announcing the game's imminent release and highlighting that a strategy guide feature begins on the following page. This page continues the strategy guide for Phantasy Star IV, picking up the story after finding Professor Holt petrified in Birth Valley. The party learns they need a medicine called Alshulin to cure him, and Ria's fragmented memories suggest it might be found in the village of Molcom. Hoping to find the cure, Chaz, Ria, and Han head towards Molcom, located south of Zima. However, upon arrival, they discover the village has been completely burned down, reduced to a wasteland. There's no sign of the Motavian inhabitants or the Alshulin they sought. In the ruins, they encounter Slay, an old acquaintance of Ria's. Slay reveals that the destruction was caused by Zizio, and mentions that the Alshulin they are looking for is in Tano. Slay, a powerful but seemingly morally complex mage, requests to join the party on their journey. Despite Han's initial hesitation, Slay advises that Tano is far, and suggests they stop by Krupp village, which is nearby to the east, before proceeding. The party agrees, and prepares to head to Krupp village with their new companion. Screenshots throughout the page depict these key story moments and character interactions. This page continues the Phantasy Star IV guide, highlighting how much easier battles become with a 4-member party after Rune joins. The guide praises Rune's high TP and powerful attack techniques, noting that his transport skills like Ryuka are invaluable for getting around quickly and returning to safety if needed. Rune is described as a truly reliable companion. The focus then shifts to Krupp village, revealed to be Rune's hometown. The text notes how green and pleasant the village is, and that the villagers welcome Rune back warmly. The guide speculates that growing up in such an environment explains Rune's calm and gentle personality. 2 small screenshots show Rune at the village entrance and inside the armor shop, where he is apparently the owner. Details are provided on 2 enemies encountered, the sandworm and the grasshopper. The sandworm is adapted to the desert and weak against cold, easily defeated with Rune's techniques, offering decent experience. The grasshopper, a biomonster created 1,000 years ago, attacks with its scythe arms and is tough for lower-level parties, being weak against cold. Finally, the page lists items available in the village shops. The armor shop sells carbon gear including the carbon helmet, carbon crown, circlet, carbon suit, and carbon shield. The item shop carries monomates, antidotes, the town ocarina, and the shuffle ocarina. This page continues the Phantasy Star IV guide in Krupp village, focusing on the character Han. It delves into his family life, explaining that his father, the owner of the village armor shop, is disappointed in Han's academic pursuits and wanted him to take over the business, which the reviewer notes is understandable, but clashes with Han's current path as an academic. The guide then reveals a surprising scandal. Han has a fiancée named Saya in the village. The reviewer expresses surprise at finding such a romantic development for the seemingly academic Han. Following this, the page strongly recommends purchasing the Carbon Series armor from the shop in Krupp. It's noted that this gear is much sturdier than leather armor and is a necessary investment, even if it requires earning more money by fighting monsters outside the village. Finally, the importance of gathering information is stressed, Talking to the villagers reveals crucial details about the path ahead. Specifically, players learn that the next destination, Tanoe, is to the north. But the way there involves a confusing path or maze. There's also a mention of a warrior's shrine on a small island near the village. Though this seems less immediately relevant, the guide emphasizes that navigating the maze is essential to reaching Tanoe and obtaining the necessary item, Alschlein, likely Alschlein in the English version, urging players to prepare for the challenge ahead. This page continues the Phantasy Star IV guide, detailing the path forward from Krupp village towards Tanoe. To progress, the party must overcome a large boulder blocking the valley entrance. The guide explains that this requires the power of Rune's magic to blow it away, advising players to save beforehand. Once past the boulder, the path leads into a confusing valley maze, which the guide likens to a more complex version of Paseo's layout. A map of this cave is provided on the right to help players navigate. While the guide encourages attempting to figure out the maze yourself to gain experience and level up, it suggests using the map as a reference if you get stuck. Screenshots show the party entering the cave and navigating different sections of the labyrinth. A small panel discusses the lore distinction between magic and technique in the Phantasy Star series, noting that technique evolved from magic and became more common, while true magic is a rare talent. This page continues the guide for Phantasy Star IV, focusing on the challenging valley maze area encountered after passing the large boulder towards Tanoe. The guide explicitly warns that the enemies found here are significantly stronger than those typically encountered on the world map. Players are advised to utilize techniques and special abilities to defeat foes quickly and minimize damage, emphasizing the importance of using recovery items liberally. It also highlights escaping as a valid tactic when necessary, stressing the need to retreat and heal fully before attempting to proceed further into the maze, as fighting while weakened will likely lead to a party wipe. The guide suggests tackling the dungeon gradually, adapting to the party's current strength rather than trying to clear it all at once. It mentions that the town of Tanoe is located just beyond the maze's exit. Two specific monsters encountered are detailed: the carrion crawler, which uses sticky thread attacks, and the blooper, a slug-like monster often found in groups. For both, the guide recommends using techniques over direct attacks, noting the blooper's soft body makes it particularly vulnerable to such methods. Screenshots display navigation through the maze, battle scenes, and character status information. This page continues the guide for Phantasy Star IV, focusing on the town of Tanoe, located on Motavia. The town is inhabited by Motavians, including refugees who apparently fled from the events at Malcolm. Unlike previous towns, the shops in Tanoe are presented as easily missable street stalls, lining up immediately to the right upon entering. The guide provides recommended equipment advice. Alice and Rika should prioritize the Titanium series of gear. Players are reminded to equip Alice with weapons in both hands. For Han, the advice is to adjust his weapon setup based on his current defense, giving him weapons in both hands if his defense is high, or just one if he's still weaker. A key tip is to avoid buying equipment for Seth, as he will be leaving the party soon. The page displays lists of items available in the town's shops. The weapon shop sells items like the hunter knife, titanium dagger, steel sword, slicer, and titanium slicer. The armor shop offers the circlet, titanium helmet, carbon suit, titanium mail, carbon shield, and titanium shield. The item shop carries recovery items such as monomate, antidote, and cure paralysis, along with the travel flute and dungeon flute. Screenshots show the town map with shop labels, various menus for battles and items, and character movement around the town. The guide emphasizes the importance of shopping here, as the titanium gear utilizes Motavia's refined processing technology and is crucial for progressing. This page continues the guide for Phantasy Star IV, the end of the millennium, picking up in the town of Tanoe on Motavia. Players are directed to seek out Doran, the information broker, regarding the item Alshurin. Doran is located in a tent in the upper right of town, and will ask a series of questions answered with yes or no. A humorous moment involves asking about Leela's measurements, which earns a sharp reaction. The guide reveals that Slay was in Tanoe specifically to meet with Doran. After this reunion, Slay departs from the party. In his place, Doran introduces Pike, a young Motavian who will join Chaz and the others. Pike is tasked with guiding the group to the underground warehouse where Alshurin is supposedly kept. A profile for Pike is provided, detailing his origin from Molcom, and his status as a Motavian warrior who fled to Tupono. While he may lack a wide range of techniques, his physical strength is highlighted as a valuable asset. The page concludes by advising players to prepare thoroughly by healing, checking equipment, and saving the game before heading to the underground warehouse located in the upper left area of town to search for Al-Shurin. The question is posed whether the item will truly be found there. This page delves into the technique and special ability system of Phantasy Star IV. It explains that techniques are divided into 4 main categories: attack, movement, healing, and support/defense. Understanding these systems makes it easier to grasp the differences between characters and their abilities, advising players to study them now. The attack section details techniques used to inflict damage, including powerful area effect spells like Zan and Graft, single-target elemental spells like Foai and Barda, and instant death techniques like Volt. Each entry provides the technique's name, TP cost, and a brief description of its effect, often accompanied by a screenshot. The movement section covers techniques for navigating the world, specifically mentioning Hainas for escaping dungeons, and Ryuka for instantly returning to visited towns. The healing section focuses on restoring HP and curing status ailments, listing techniques such as Resta for single-target HP recovery and Anti for curing poison. It also mentions a revival technique named Aruzu. Finally, the support/defense section describes techniques that alter combat stats, including Shifta to boost an ally's attack power, Saner to increase party reaction speed, Jellin to reduce enemy attack, and Dolm to lower enemy agility and evasion while boosting ally accuracy. Each category provides insight into how players can strategically use these abilities in combat and exploration. This page continues the look at the special abilities in Phantasy Star IV, focusing on individual character techniques and the exciting concept of combination attacks. It details key techniques for several party members. Rudy Steiner utilizes powerful sword skills like Earthbind, which restrains a single enemy, and Sword Cross for high single-target damage. Rika, the Slicer Master, has techniques like Vortex, a rapid multi-hit attack, and Moonshade, which puts all enemies to sleep. Chaz Ashley showcases magic-like techniques such as Flare, a focused fire attack, and Hewn, an instant kill technique affecting all foes. Han Makia, though a scholar, focuses on support techniques like Ether Vision to boost accuracy, and Grizz, the powerful fighter, relies on his axe technique Crush for heavy damage. The page then highlights combination attacks, a unique feature where combining specific techniques from 2 or more characters in sequence creates powerful, composite effects. These combinations can be registered as macros for easy use. The game features 15 such combinations, encouraging players to experiment and discover these devastating joint attacks on their own. This page focuses on the vital aspects of weapons, armor, and items in Phantasy Star IV. It offers practical advice for players, stressing the importance of saving before buying new equipment and immediately equipping any new gear found or purchased to check its effect on a character's status. The guide notes that the game lacks cursed items, making it safe to equip anything you find. If equipment negatively impacts stats, it's best to sell it. A table provides details on various weapons, including cost, features, and which characters can equip them, featuring items like the titanium sword for Rolf and the wood cane for Chaz. The page emphasizes customizing equipment based on individual character parameters, detailing the 4 equip slots: head, right hand, left hand, body, and how hand slots can be used for either weapons or shields to balance offense and defense for characters like Rolf or Hugh. Finally, an intriguing mechanic is revealed. Some weapons possess hidden magical properties that can be activated by using them as items in battle. The wood cane is highlighted as an example. When used as an item, it casts the Resta healing spell, offering a valuable early-game healing method. The guide encourages players to experiment with newly acquired weapons to uncover these potentially powerful hidden effects. Screenshots throughout the page illustrate character status screens and item usage in combat. The next page continues the equipment discussion for Phantasy Star IV, focusing on defensive gear and essential items. It features a detailed table listing various armors and shields, including their names like leather armor, carbon suit, and titanium mail, alongside their prices, features, and which characters can equip them. Notable entries include the white mantle, described as having a slight defensive magic effect, and various helmets, crowns, and headbands made from materials like leather, carbon, and titanium, with some specifically noted for female characters like Rika. Shields like the leather shield and titanium shield are also listed. Below the defense gear section is a table for items. This covers crucial consumables like Monomate for HP recovery, Antidote for curing poison, and Cure paralysis. It also lists the vital travel items, the Town Medal and Labyrinth Medal, described as mysterious instruments that can instantly transport you from visited towns or deep within dungeons. Accompanying text provides practical advice. It highlights the party's total item capacity, which is 40 items regardless of party size, urging players to manage their inventory as companions join to avoid being unable to pick up important items. Another note emphasizes keeping a Town Medal or Labyrinth Medal handy for emergencies, stating that having these teleportation items is reassuring, especially when low on technical points. A small screenshot shows the item menu displaying Monomate, Antidote, Cure Paralysis, Town Medal, and Labyrinth Medal with their prices. This Phantasy Star IV developer interview discusses the game's completion, highlighting the long development and the developer's relief, though pre-release pressure remains. The interview emphasizes the importance of sub-events, extra content, offering powerful items, and access to missed locations. One sub-event, inspired by Sherlock Holmes, features unique gameplay. Motavians, inspired by Star Wars Jawas, are further developed from previous games. The combination system, a battle mechanic, is described as accessible through technique use. The interview concludes with a promotional graphic and a contest for a developer-signed New Year's card. This page features the Nekone Press, a publication from Compile. The main focus is a Super Illustrations special feature, showcasing various illustrations, including fan art or internal art, related to Compile's popular series like Puyo Puyo and Madu Monogatari. There's also a comic strip section titled Grade Islands Grade Days, offering humorous glimpses possibly related to the company or its characters. Other sections highlight GG Nazo Puyo 2, a Puyo Puyo title for the Game Gear. There are announcements about selling Carbuncle plushies, recruiting members for the Compile Club, and advertising their Disk Station software series. A fun notice section features messages from Puyo Puyo characters. Satan laments the absence of Carbuncle, while Arl and Naja are selling Ojama Puyo. The page provides a look into Compile's activities and fan engagement around their key franchises, like Puyo Puyo and Madu Monogatari. This page features the Treasure Factory section, highlighting a popularity ranking for characters from the action-packed Sega Genesis title, Gunstar Heroes. Topping the Network Rush and Go, Pole is Blue, earning the #1 spot due to strong support, followed closely by Yellow in second place and Green at number 3. The article provides descriptions and insights into the popularity of characters ranked from 1st to 10th, including memorable figures like Seven Force and the Unit of the Runner. Additionally, there's a column titled Fake Gunstar Heroes column, specifically for those who haven't finished the game, delving into the mysteries of the ending, particularly Blue's silence. The page is filled with vibrant illustrations and comic panels showcasing the beloved characters, reflecting fan enthusiasm for this treasure classic. This page features a lecture from Teacher Nami under the column Useful Industry Lecture, dedicated to aspiring creators. The topic is I Am a Mega Driver, where Nami discusses the experience of developing games for the Sega Genesis. The piece delves into the technical challenges of working with Genesis hardware, particularly sprite limitations, and achieving effects like transparency, comparing it briefly to the Super Famicom. It highlights the creative workarounds developers used, referencing a specific example from Gunstar Heroes, involving raster scrolling, to achieve a visual effect during the helicopter sequence. Despite the technical hurdles, the author expresses affection for the Genesis, noting its strengths like horizontal sprite handling, and the enjoyment of finding solutions to its constraints. Elsewhere on the page, a short commentary reflects on the future of the Genesis, with the rise of 32-bit consoles, affirming a dedication not to abandon the system. A comic strip provides a humorous alien report on the challenges faced by the editorial team. The Otaku's Hideout column reviews RC, robot construction, for the X68000, focusing on the passion involved in building and battling custom robots. An essay titled Minako's Backstage Pass shares thoughts on the holiday season and anticipation for new games. Finally, the reader mail section invites submissions for prizes from Treasure, hinting at potential upcoming game announcements in the editor's notes. This page is a deep dive into fighting game strategy, presented within the context of a fictional tournament at St. 2 Gakuen-Plus. It kicks off with a narrative recap of the school's major event, the St. 2 tournament, detailing the struggle of the boys' club, their use of unconventional tactics to reach the finals against the formidable girls' club leader, and their draw. The boys' leader is now determined to challenge the girls' leader again. The feature then transitions into practical advice under the title, "It's all about the feint of small techniques" chapter, focusing on strategy in fighting games, heavily referencing Street Fighter II. The summary highlights using feints and tricky movements. Point 1 advises using small, quick techniques like standing kicks and crouching kicks to force opponents into guarding, showing examples that resemble moves from Street Fighter II. Point 2 discusses using subtle or unexpected movements to disrupt the opponent's timing or expectations. A significant section is dedicated to winning with guile, providing specific tactical tips for playing as the character Guile in Street Fighter II. It emphasizes mastering his charge moves, the sonic boom and somersault kick, and understanding their timing. The guide notes that while Guile's anti-air isn't always decisive, players should practice defensive moves like the flash kick. It stresses the importance of studying opponent patterns and mastering the charge mechanic. The page features illustrations of school characters and representations of fighting game techniques, likely from Street Fighter II. This page continues the saga at St. 2 Gakuen-Plus, focusing on the impending decisive battle and a mixed group battle in Street Fighter II-Plus for the Mega Drive. The narrative follows Hitoshi and Osamu as they prepare, encountering Reika, the formidable leader of the girls' club. The boys learn the girls are fielding a 5-person team in a winner-stay-bison format. Reika reveals she's bringing Kyoko as a sub-leader, threatening her expulsion if she loses, a tactic Osamu finds outrageous. The page includes a section titled Street 2 Circle and delves into a unique form of fortune-telling based on converting names into numbers. This method calculates compatibility between characters, showing Osamu and Reika's compatibility at 87%. Finally, the page declares Sagat as the best partner this time, likely based on the fortune-telling results or some other ranking system mentioned alongside percentages that appear to be related to character win rates or compatibility scores. Ryu 90%, Ken 95%, E Honda 61%, Blanca 66%, Guile 38%, Zangief 68%, Dalsum 61%, M Bison 13%, Balrog 59%, Sagat 97%, Vega 45%. A side panel highlights a staff-recommended technique, mentioning moves like Yoga Smash and Dharma Punch. This page features an article by Eric C. Sedensky titled Captivating Game Experience Log, focusing on the game-winning post for the Sega Mega CD. This is the 19th entry in his column, and he specifically calls for a tournament for the game. The author expresses relief that a horse racing simulation finally arrived on the Mega CD platform. Having previously desired such a title, he finds Winning Post surpasses his expectations, highlighting its realism and depth. Unlike other racing games, it emphasizes the human element and relationships within the horse racing world, such as interacting with trainers and owners, which he finds crucial for success. While acknowledging the game might be complex for newcomers, his prior study of the horse racing industry allowed him to appreciate its nuances, including managing a stable and understanding horse condition. He discusses the satisfaction of winning races and the challenges of dealing with trainers, noting the possibility of changing trainers if philosophies clash. The page includes a small screenshot depicting a horse race in progress. The article concludes with the author's strong desire for a winning post tournament to be established. Illustrations of a jockey and a horse accompany the text. This page features Jam Ojisan's passionate serialization column, accompanied by a portrait of the author. The main title is The Idiom, Experience is Better Than Youth. The column discusses the upcoming dramatic changes in the game industry, predicting a Sengoku period or era of warring states driven by the next generation of hardware, including 64-bit machines, new consoles from Sega and NEC, and Sony's entry into the market. Jam Ojisan reflects on how this shifts the landscape beyond the traditional competition between Nintendo, Sega, and PC Engine. He also examines how the game distribution market is likely to change, with consumer electronics stores and discount shops gaining prominence over traditional game stores, potentially impacting pricing and user habits. Crucially, The author argues that the hardware war will be heavily influenced by which powerful software makers align with which console, suggesting Nintendo currently holds an advantage in securing vital software support. Here, he raises questions about how Sega will navigate this challenge and the difficulty of incentivizing software developers. A side panel invites readers to submit questions about games and the industry for the column, offering a response from Jam Ojisan and a gift if selected. This page kicks off a report from America covering the latest tech developments, specifically focusing on the 3Do and the Apple Newton. The launch of the 3Do interactive multimedia player is proving to be a huge hit, with stores selling out immediately. Demand is so high, even the English version is sought after by Japanese enthusiasts, with reports of people securing units within a week of ordering. While the 3Do's popularity is clear, the report notes that software availability is still limited. A racing game called Crush and Burn was bundled with the units seen in America, which is described as a futuristic race battle and has flashy digital video intros, but the reviewer feels it lacks a fresh feel as a game. There's also mention of a demo called Color Echo that showcases the interactive potential, allowing users to zoom and pan on images, which is seen as a taste of things to come. Middleware like Scriptex, aiming to make multimedia software run on various machines, is also highlighted as important for the future. Moving to the Apple Newton Message Pad, this handheld device is explored for its potential in pen-based gaming. A notable example is a game called Calligrapher, a game similar to Tetris, where falling objects change based on handwritten input recognized by the device. The reviewer is clearly intrigued by the concept of using a pen for interaction, suggesting it could be the next input method following the mouse, and wonders what other pen-based games could emerge. This page features the Konami Ohaya user column, discussing the end of the year and upcoming releases. The main event is the final announcement of the Konami Port Wish Chart survey results, where readers voted on which Konami games they want to see ported. The column writer thanks readers for their overwhelming response. The survey results are presented, with Metal Gear 2, Solid Snake, likely referring to the Metal Gear series in general, taking the top spot, surprisingly beating XEXEX. Other desired titles mentioned include International Karate, Shadow Dancer, and Gaiopolis. A discussion follows between the writer and a Konami representative about whether these results will influence future ports. The representative hints that some games from the top 10 list are already being developed for next year's Mega Drive lineup, though they can't reveal specifics yet. They also briefly discuss the possibility of porting Metal Gear 2, Solid Snake to the Mega CD. The page is decorated with small, lively illustrations, including characters that resemble Sonic and Tails, and a drawing seemingly related to Rocket Knight Adventures. Artwork from the Contra series is also featured, depicting intense jungle warfare and a formidable mech, reminiscent of Contra 2-1, The Alien Wars. The page concludes with information on how readers can submit requests, illustrations, or questions to the column. This page announces the results of a Konami port survey and discusses potential future releases based on reader feedback. This page features the new soft schedule, a comprehensive listing of upcoming game releases for the Mega Drive, Mega CD, and Mega LD systems. The page is structured into sections for each platform, with games categorized by their projected release month or listed as having an undecided release date. Details provided for each title include the release date, price, manufacturer, and genre. Notable upcoming Mega Drive releases include Konami's light gun hit, Lethal Enforcers, the unique pinball spin-off, Sonic Spinball, the continuation of the beloved beat-em-up series with Streets of Rage 3, listed here by its Japanese title, and the fighting tournament game, Eternal Champions. The Mega CD schedule highlights titles like the adventure game Lumina, Yumemi Yakata no Monogatari, and the RPG Shadowrun. The Mega LD section lists a few upcoming titles as well, such as 3D Museum and Space Berserker. The schedule offers a detailed look at the exciting lineup of software planned for Sega's consoles. A new software schedule details upcoming Game Gear releases in December, January, and beyond, listing price, genre, and publisher for each game. A festive illustration accompanies the schedule. Various publishers provide updates. Sega highlights Mega CD titles, Capcom discusses their Street Fighter II anime project, Virgin Games mentions their first Mega Drive game, and Sammy hints at a new game. Other developers announce upcoming releases, delays, or company news. Konami confirms a Lethal Enforcers Room release on December 10th, and Shield West delays Pop-Un Land to February. The page concludes with a humorous message from Messiah. This page lays out a comprehensive guide for filling out the reader survey postcard for the magazine. It details how to mark your responses for questions covering your gender, age, school, or occupation, and the number of Mega Drive games you own, specifying to mark 99 if you own 100 or more. The survey also asks about which gaming magazines you read regularly, which gaming consoles you own, and which games you are planning to buy next, from a lengthy provided list featuring many exciting Japanese and imported titles. Additionally, readers are asked to identify the articles they found most and least interesting in this issue. The bottom part of the page features a list of winners for the November issue's Reader Gift Campaign, showcasing who won prizes like Mega Drive and Game Gear software, a cool Spot watch and t-shirt, a pencil board, and even some unique items like a book on a secret society and magazine issues. A small cartoon with birds saying "Oh, me, de, tu" adds a playful touch. This page kicks off the Be Mega Hot menu section and dives straight into Yu Yu Hakusho Gaiden on the Mega Drive. This is a character adventure game based on the popular series, putting the focus on 4 sub-scenarios highlighting Yusuke, Kuwabara, Kurama, and Hiei. What's cool is that it uses original storylines that apparently fit the spirit of the anime and manga perfectly, making it a must-have for fans. The game blends adventure segments with dialogue and character portraits, with real-time battles, adding an action element. The developer even comments that the graphics are spot-on, and the game is made accessible for fans who might not be hardcore gamers. It looks like a solid title, capturing the world of Yu Yu Hakusho. This page dives into the highly anticipated Mega Drive title, Vampire Killer, known internationally as Castlevania, Bloodlines, or Castlevania, The New Generation. The article confidently states that everything you thought you knew about the series up until now should be forgotten, highlighting how this entry represents a significant evolution. It emphasizes that the changes go beyond just graphics, extending to a refined game system and controls, making for a more sophisticated experience. The review touches on the game's structure, featuring 2 distinct playable characters, John Morris, wielding the classic whip, and Eric Lecard, who uses a unique spear. Both characters offer different playstyles and techniques. The article also details the item system, showing off various power-ups and helpful pickups like jewels for sub-weapon usage, meat for health recovery, and mysterious items that grant temporary invincibility or other changing effects. With several screenshots showcasing the dark gothic environments and character sprites, the page makes it clear that Vampire Killer is a polished action title that brings the iconic vampire hunting series to the Mega Drive in a fresh way. This page offers a detailed look at the stages and bosses of Castlevania Bloodlines on the Mega Drive. Stage 1 returns to Dracula's castle, but with significant graphical enhancements, particularly noticeable in the mid-bosses and the underground waterways, creating a more imposing atmosphere. Stage 2 shifts the setting to the beautiful Atlantis Shrine, a stage praised for its harmony of water and marble visuals, introducing new giant mid-bosses and stunning reflective water effects. The article previews several bosses, including the classic skeletons, a fierce roaring werewolf, the dynamic multi-jointed bone dragon, and the powerful 2 Guardians boss known for swinging a large mace. A message from the developers highlights the intense effort put into the game, describing it as a blood-soaked experience filled with hidden items and unseen traps, encouraging everyone to buy and play it. This page dives into the highly anticipated release of Flashback, an overseas title described as a groundbreaking motion adventure. The magazine hails it as another game destined for history, emphasizing its fusion of action and adventure with a grand story and stunning presentation. The article spotlights the game's smooth, realistic character animations, showcased through a visual guide detailing Conrad's extensive moveset, from basic walking and running to complex actions like rolling, hanging, aiming, and shooting. This detailed action system is a key part of the gameplay. It also provides a summary of the compelling sci-fi narrative. Protagonist Conrad B. Hart, a Federation investigator who discovers aliens disguised as humans, has his memory wiped when he tries to alert the authorities. The player must help him navigate this conspiracy and expose the ongoing alien invasion, stressing the importance of using items found throughout the environment to solve puzzles and overcome obstacles. Accessing and selecting these items via the inventory system is crucial for survival and progression. The page notes the game is a one-player experience with a 100% completion rating, highlighting its depth and single-player focus. It also suggests checking out the opening demo for a taste of its cinematic quality. This page continues the exploration of Flashback, detailing the protagonist Conrad B. Hart's quest after losing his memory. Waking up in an unfamiliar jungle, he finds a holocube containing a message from his past self, urging him to meet his friend Ian in New Washington. The journey begins with combat against unknown enemies, leading Conrad to find a mysterious cartridge. This item needs charging at a large machine called an energy charger, which can also power his shield. With the charged cartridge, he can activate a teleporter found nearby, leading him through a large hole based on information from an injured man he encounters. Reaching New Washington allows Conrad to reunite with Ian and regain his lost memories, setting the stage for the true conflict. The adventure then shifts to Earth, requiring Conrad to earn money for a ticket. The page also explains the save system, which uses checkpoints for respawning and passwords for continuing after turning off the console. Finally, Sunsoft, the publisher, offers a brief message, expressing satisfaction with releasing Flashback on the Mega Drive and praising its realistic animation and hard-boiled world created using polygons. This page dives into the wacky world of Awesome Possum Kicks Drive Makino's Butt, an environmental action platformer. The main character, Awesome Possum, is a restless and talkative opossum tasked with saving the planet from the mad scientist Drive Makino. The game takes you through various environments, like tropical rainforests, underwater caves, and the Arctic. Gameplay involves tackling stages, collecting trash like cans, bottles, and newspapers, with 50 pieces netting you an extra life and health recovery. There's also a quiz mode, with around 400 environmental questions. Awesome isn't alone. He has several allies, including Killer Bee, Rad Rhino, Ray, and a migratory bird, each offering unique abilities like flight or breaking obstacles. Various items like extra lives, mega jump, mega speed, and health recovery aid your quest. The page also features a reader corner related to a previous environmental quiz, including comments about the game itself. One reader questioned the name and the type of animal, while another commented on a featured family photo of the possum family, and others debated the effectiveness of the environmental theme. This page provides a stage-by-stage breakdown of Awesome Possum Kicks Drive Makino's Butt, highlighting the environmental challenges and enemies you'll face. It covers 4 stages: the tropical rainforest, underwater cave, Arctic Circle, and Dr. Makino's secret base. Each stage section details the specific traps to watch out for, such as tricky footing, pitfalls, and environmental hazards like falling into the sea in the Arctic. The importance of careful movement, especially jumping, is emphasized throughout the guide, as poor landing choices can lead to damage. Crucially, the guide also features the boss for the tropical rainforest, underwater cave, Arctic Circle, and Dr. Makino's secret base stages, showing screenshots and offering brief strategic advice on how to defeat them. These include a tank-like boss, an aquatic foe, and the returning Rad Rhino. Below the stage guide, the page continues the reader feedback section related to the game and its environmental themes, featuring diverse opinions from various readers. A small sidebar notes that the game Gauntlet is also available for purchase. This page dives into the action-packed sequel, Jungle Strike. Following up on the success of Desert Strike, it maintains the unique isometric perspective and realistic graphics of its predecessor, but expands the scope considerably. The setting moves beyond the desert to include diverse environments like the White House, dense jungles, and snowy mountains, making the stages much more varied and visually appealing. A major gameplay enhancement highlighted here is the ability to control various vehicles, not just the classic attack helicopter, which adds strategic depth. The narrative focuses on new villains, Kilbaba Jr., the son of the previous game's antagonist, and drug lord Carlos Ortega. This dangerous duo is plotting world domination, starting with an attack on Washington, D.C. The hero from Desert Strike is called back from retirement to confront this new threat. The page also details the co-pilot system. There are 5 potential co-pilots in total, but several are currently listed as missing in action. Mia. Part of the game involves finding these Mia co-pilots. Each co-pilot has different strengths, like proficiency with the winch or shooting, and choosing the right partner is crucial for success. Several co-pilots are pictured, including Ego, Mr. 3Ds, Faceman, Roz, and Wild Bill, suggesting players will need to assess their abilities. Overall, the game promises intense aerial and ground combat, with varied missions and strategic choices regarding co-pilots, delivered as a single-player experience. The next page dives deeper into the gameplay of Jungle Strike by detailing specific missions players will undertake, starting with the crucial task of liberating the White House area. Early objectives include protecting historical landmarks, locating and interrogating terrorist operatives, intercepting bomb-laden vehicles, and rescuing a vital spy named Akuba, whose information is key to protecting the president. Players will also be tasked with guarding the presidential limousine and neutralizing specific threats like enemy snipers to gather intelligence. Crucially, this page highlights the game's exciting new controllable vehicles, a significant departure from Desert Strike. Besides the familiar attack helicopter, you'll get to pilot a versatile hovercraft capable of traversing both land and water while packing machine guns, missiles, and mines. There's also the small but potent battle bike, armed with machine guns and missiles, great for ground assaults. Finally, the stealth fighter offers infinite machine gun ammo and 2 types of missiles, though it can't hover, and is vulnerable to crashes at low altitude. The content also hints at the game's progression beyond the initial Washington, D.C. liberation, promising missions that involve invading enemy territory with even tougher challenges. A note from the developers confirms players will face off against the villains mentioned previously, using this expanded arsenal of vehicles, even suggesting a potential urban setting for the next installment in the series. This page is all about Battlemania Daiginju, the excellent sequel in the Troubleshooter series. It confirms the game was a complete success, 100% completion shown, and is a single-player shooter. The main draw is the chaotic action starring the dynamic duo, Maria and Mania, known for their wild antics and extensive arsenal. The article highlights the game's robust customization options, allowing players to tweak settings like the shot direction. You can choose from the simple one-way forward shot, a wider two-way spread, or the advanced 8-way firing, which lets you target enemies in any direction, though it requires more control skill. Additionally, you can set the behavior of your floating probe option from homing, follows enemies, roll, circles you defensively, or negative, moves opposite your direction. There are also various special weapons selectable before each stage, like the versatile Neo Thunder or the screen-clearing Benton Bomb. The page offers advice, suggesting beginners master the 8-way shot and utilize the reliable homing probe and the generally useful Neo Thunder. Battlemania Daiginju offers a lot of depth through its customizable mechanics, making it a highly replayable and engaging shooter. This page continues the detailed look at Troubleshooter Vintage, Battlemania Daiginju. Diving into specific stages of the game's wild campaign, we get introductions to Stage 5, Demon Cry Tank, where Maria and Mania must stop a rogue, brain-controlled tank causing chaos, featuring vehicle sections and strange enemies like fishmen. Next up is Stage 6, taking the fight inside the tank, a cramped environment filled with mobile suits and mechanical defenses as the duo pursues the boss. Finally, Stage 7, the castle tower soaring in the sky, is a treacherous ascent loaded with traps and a boss wielding bizarre, alien power, culminating in Maria's capture, setting up a dramatic, though not final, showdown. The page also features a humorous manga strip with Maria and Mania, an announcement for exclusive, handmade fan merchandise like BGM tapes and garage kits, available via postcard lottery, and a message from the game's makers, encouraging players to enjoy the game during the holiday season. This page focuses on the Mega Drive version of Art of Fighting, highlighting its differences and features compared to the Neo Geo and Super Famicom versions. Following up from a previous issue, this article concentrates on the dialogue scenes between opponents, which the Mega Drive version inherits directly from the Neo Geo. However, the character animations and direction are original to the Mega Drive, although some unique character quirks present in the Neo Geo version, like Robert's glove adjustment or King's hat toss, were unfortunately lost. The page showcases numerous screenshots featuring dialogue boxes from various character encounters, illustrating the story progression and interactions. It also points out a unique gameplay mechanic, the ability to counter opponent projectiles with normal attacks, adding an extra layer of strategy and fun when timed correctly. Finally, the review emphasizes the dramatic and movie-like quality of the game's dialogue, comparing the stylish presentation to a Jackie Chan film, and includes screenshots of non-combat scenes with character dialogue. This page dives into the world of Metal Fangs, a brutal, ruleless racing game set in a cyberpunk future where contestants risk their lives. Following up from a previous article, this feature focuses heavily on the power-up system, which is essential for victory. The core loop emphasized is, decide on your members, power up, win races, power up, aim for victory, power up. The game offers 5 types of power-ups for your vehicle, including engine and armor, with better performance upgrades becoming available as you progress, though they come at a higher cost. Screenshots illustrate the upgrade shop interface, showing various parts and their prices. Beyond the single-player progression, Metal Fangs also features a two-player versus mode, perfect for challenging friends after getting tired of the computer opponents. The page displays the course selection screen for these head-to-head battles. There's also a fun sidebar highlighting Steven's awesome band, introducing a heavy punk group called Beepers, featuring portraits of the members. Published by Victor Entertainment, Metal Fangs was released on December 17th for 6,800 yen, utilizing a 4 meters cartridge. According to the developer's message, after overcoming various challenges, the game is finally here, emphasizing the importance of powering up and enjoying the cool music alongside the ruleless battles. This page features Dragon's Revenge, Tengen's fantasy-themed pinball game for the Mega Drive. Far from being a simple simulation, this title stands out with its unique system, fast-paced gameplay, and incredibly flashy presentation. The pinball field is divided into 3 sections, upper, middle, and lower, which smoothly scroll as the ball moves. The game is packed with numerous features to discover across these screens. The core objective is to rescue 3 heroes imprisoned by monsters, gaining their power to ultimately defeat the main antagonist. Screenshots show the different playfields. The upper section features a dragon's face target, crucial for progressing. The middle section holds monster targets, while the lower section presents a dragon's mouth, where losing the ball results in losing a life. Special stages involve helping the heroes and engaging in battles against monsters. The developer notes mention characters like Rinna the Sorceress, and suggests the game, particularly the Witch's Face, can be quite chilling, recommending it for a late-night play session. The game supports 2 players and boasts a 100% completion gauge, indicating a robust experience. A 1993 Sega Mega Drive retrospective, titled 93 Mega Drive Grand Finale, looks back on a strong year with hardware updates like the Mega Drive 2 and Mega CD2, and popular games like Gunstar Heroes and Echo the Dolphin. The article also highlights the entry of Capcom and the growing CD-ROM presence. It notes a potential industry slowdown after a decade of Japanese market growth, and anticipates a turbulent 1994, marked by the arrival of next-generation consoles like the Sega Saturn, PlayStation, and Nintendo 64. The page includes images of games, Sonic the Hedgehog, and the Sega logo, along with a timeline of key 1993 events. This page features an interview with Sega's HE Business Department Director Kenji Kamada, reflecting on 1993 and looking forward to 1994. Kamada notes that while 1992 was challenging, 1993 saw significant improvement with the release of the Mega Drive 2 and Mega CD2, leading to increased console penetration. He emphasizes the substantial improvement in the software lineup's quality and quantity compared to the previous year. Third-party support is growing, with Capcom's entry and more companies expected. Sega's strategy for 1994 includes focusing on more affordable pricing for games, following the success of titles like Puyo Puyo, to make the platform more accessible. Key software releases for spring 1994 are expected to include Virtua Racing and Sonic the Hedgehog 3, with a new RPG also in development. Looking ahead, Sega is also preparing for the next generation of hardware. The page also highlights key Sega Mega Drive and Mega CD-related topics from 1993, including price reductions for the Mega Drive, the release of the Mega Drive 2 and Mega CD2, the laser-active system, and various peripherals like the Sega Mouse, Sega Tap, MegaJet, and the cordless pad, showcasing a year of hardware diversification and enhancements for the platform. This page details Sega's establishment of a new creative center in Shibuya, Tokyo, intended as a key hub for software development, particularly focused on multimedia titles for upcoming hardware and the Virtual Cinema series. The center will bring together various development teams, including the RPG division, and related companies, facilitating information exchange. A major goal is fostering collaboration with external creators, such as scenario writers, film directors, and CG designers. Furthermore, a dedicated multimedia studio is being built in their new company building in Otori, equipped for advanced production techniques like motion control and visual effects. This initiative mirrors efforts by Sega of America, which developed titles like Jurassic Park for Sega CD, using multimedia studios. The page also covers Sega's ventures into communication services, highlighting tie-ups with major CATV companies and AT&T for modem development, enabling features like online head-to-head matches. Finally, it discusses Sega's strategic use of business tie-ups and sponsorships, including supporting J-League football and F1 racing, to enhance brand recognition and corporate image beyond their core gaming audience. Sega's 1994 plans for its consoles focused on quality over quantity. The Mega Drive/Genesis, predicted to excel with RPGs like Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and Virtua Racing, would fully utilize its capabilities. The Mega CD, leveraging CD-ROM technology, promised epic titles with full-motion video, exemplified by Lords of Thunder and Heavenly Symphony. Sales growth was predicted across all platforms. The article also discussed broader industry issues, including controversies like the Nintendo Killed My Son incident and concerns about game health impacts, as well as Capcom's significant entry into the Sega market with Street Fighter II Turbo. This page lays out Sega's ambitious plans for 1994 across their platforms and arcade business. On the Game Gear, look out for the GG Whirlwind to keep spinning, with a big focus on action and driving games like the promising Sonic Drift, boasting what's called the best GG quality yet, packed with unique Sonic charm. Internationally, Genesis and Sega CD are loading up on sports titles like World Series Baseball, NBA Basketball, and NFL Football, with Sega CD utilizing FMV and deeper simulations. They're also bringing in character games and aiming for completely new experiences, pointing to Aladdin's animation quality as a benchmark. The arcade front is dominated by the incredible Virtua Fighter, showcasing the power of the new Model 2 board, joined by technical marvels like Daytona USA and Outrunners as Sega continues to lead in arcade tech and expand their facilities. They're even getting into high-tech toys with the kids' computer Pico, which shares the Mega Drive's CPU, hoping to bring the next generation of gamers into the Sega fold. The late 1994 video game console market is poised for intense competition, with Sega's Saturn, Sony's PSX, and Nintendo's Project Reality leading the charge. Sega's Saturn boasts impressive 3D capabilities, a powerful CPU, and 7 processors for distributed processing, while the PSX emphasizes speed and realistic sound. Panasonic's 3Do, already available in America, is also in the mix. Nintendo's Project Reality, a 64-bit machine, focuses on high-speed video processing. Other contenders include the Amiga CD32 and Atari Jaguar. All systems are projected to be priced under 50,000 yen, except the Jaguar, which launched at $249. This page is dedicated to the Sega Mega CD, highlighting new releases and previews. The main focus is on the Mansion of Hidden Souls, an adventure game praised for its immersive first-person perspective and realistic CG visuals. The article emphasizes how the game makes you feel like you are exploring the mysterious mansion yourself, seeing things from a child's viewpoint and hearing everything. It's described as a work that lets players enjoy a world of virtual reality. The preview suggests that while the atmosphere is introduced, the true impact of the game can only be appreciated by experiencing it firsthand. The game is scheduled for release by Sega on December 17th, priced at 7,800 yen. It features 100% completion gauge in the preview and is a single-player experience. The controls are noted as being simple, relying primarily on the D-pad for movement and direction changes. The A button is for item selection, B for cancel, and C for item use. The story section hints at the premise, involving the disappearance of a younger sister drawn into a mysterious mansion by glowing butterflies, and the protagonist following her. A sidebar lists other games covered in this issue, including Axe 101, Record of Lodos War, Ishi Hisaichi no Deisekai, Microcosm, Dungeon Master 2, Orgel, Ulfshark, Sengoku Densho, likely Sengoku, Battle Fantasia, Shin Megami Tensei, and Urusei Yatsura. The first floor of the Mansion of Hidden Souls begins in a central hall connected to stairs and various rooms, including a hidden passage. 4 rooms are detailed. The Butterfly and Specimen Room, home to a reclusive butterfly enthusiast. The elegant hall with a red carpet, grandfather clock and hat. The Music Room, featuring a kind woman resident and a grand piano. And the serene drawing room with a hearth and Western liquor. The page hints at numerous unexplored areas vital to the story, showcasing cryptic images like a strange brick room, a power source, and a creepy doll, suggesting more secrets lie hidden. The second floor of the Mansion of Hidden Souls mirrors the first, with a central hall and connecting corridor. 3 rooms are detailed. The girl's bedroom, pink-white, inhabited by a demonic butterfly. The painter's room, featuring a helpful young man butterfly painter, and the game room, with an older woman butterfly and crucial clues. A locked door suggests further secrets. Cryptic images add to the mystery, depicting a dark doorway, a room filled with flowers and butterflies, an underwater structure, and otherworldly stone pillars. This page highlights 2 upcoming Mega CD titles. First up is Axe 101, an interactive 3D shooter that truly leverages the Mega CD's capabilities. The cockpit perspective puts you right in the action, battling mechanical life forms across diverse environments like space, snowy peaks, and even Mars. The graphics have a distinctive, almost Star Wars-like feel in some areas, and the animation is described as impressive and dynamic, a real showcase for the hardware. It looks like a solid early foray into 3Ds for the platform. Below that, we get the first look at Record of Lodoss War for Mega CD. Based on the popular tabletop RPG series, serialized in CompuQ magazine, this title is an RPG, with noticeable simulation elements woven in, judging by the gameplay screens. The graphics for the town and world map have a charming, slightly sepia-toned, hand-drawn quality reminiscent of old maps. The combat screens show tactical positioning, suggesting a strategic layer to the battles. With voice acting for opening and event scenes and involvement from popular voice actors, this promises to be a highly anticipated release for fans of the series. This page introduces the upcoming Mega CD simulation game, Ishi Hisaichi no Dai Seikai. Set for a January 28th release, this unique title puts you in the role of a political secretary tasked by God himself to guide businessman Ichiro Kunida into the political world and eventually become a cabinet minister. The first part, Jinzaihen, focuses on the goal of making Kunida a prefectural governor. Gameplay involves researching local issues by watching TV, engaging in political activities on the map like investigations and parties to gain support and funds, and dealing with unexpected events. You'll manage resources and build connections under the guidance of the wise old man Tokugawa, who schools you and Kunida in the basics of politics. The game blends strategic simulation with quirky humor, promising an unconventional political experience on the Mega CD. This page takes a deep dive into Microcosm for the Mega CD, a unique shooter where you navigate inside the human body. Scheduled for a January release and showing 80% completion, the article focuses specifically on Stage 1. This stage is set within a vein in the arm, where you pilot a nanomachine, battling viruses, enemy nanomachines, and other strange biological and artificial threats. The enemies are highlighted for their bizarre designs, from missile-firing foes to pulsating, organic shapes. Unlike the PC version, the Mega CD allows for more liberal shooting, enhancing the arcade feel. The formidable Stage 1 boss is introduced as Destroy the Core, a nanomachine with a dangerous attack pattern and a vulnerability that moves. After defeating the boss, the path leads to peculiar mechanical structures within the body. The page also features a micro-anime section showing the changing expressions of the person you are inside, adding to the game's unique presentation. This page dives into Dungeon Master 2, Skullkeep for the Mega CD, highlighting its immersive real-time RPG experience. Unlike many RPGs, time is always passing, meaning you can be attacked even while resting, and managing character hunger and thirst is crucial. Fail to do so, and you'll realize even heroes are just animals who need sustenance. The objective is to repair a broken machine located within Skullkeep Castle, but achieving this involves navigating the game's complex world. While the title suggests dungeons, this installment also features outdoor areas, though the surface isn't always pleasant, with hazards like thunderstorms that can lead to instant game over. Exploration involves interacting with the environment to solve puzzles, like deciphering the meaning behind strange paintings or activating mysterious mechanisms. Opening doors often requires finding specific keys scattered throughout the world, adding another layer to your search. The game also includes shops, easily identifiable by their signs, allowing you to purchase or trade equipment like weapons and armor. The screenshots show the game's characteristic first-person view and detailed inventory system, giving a glimpse into the challenging world awaiting players. This page delves further into the survival mechanics of Dungeon Master 2, Skullkeep, emphasizing the necessity of finding food and water to stay alive, a key feature mentioned on the previous page. You'll need to hunt monsters not just for experience, but for meat to eat, though not all creatures are edible. Maintaining hydration is equally critical, as running out of either food or water means certain death. It's wise to replenish these resources whenever possible. The page illustrates the process. Defeat a monster, pick up the resulting meat, and then eat it. A brief monster guide introduces some early foes, noting their characteristics and edibility. The slime is weak but not edible. The bat is hard to hit but drops a little meat. And a boar-like monster is tough and fast but yields a good amount of meat. The intricate magic system is also detailed. Spells are cast by combining symbols from 4 categories: power, element, form, and class/alignment. Don't always need all 4, but combining at least 2 is required. Time continues to pass while you're preparing spells, so speed is essential. Examples of magic include offensive spells like Fireball and Thunder, brewing potions, and utility spells like lighting dark areas or creating minions. The strength of a spell is heavily influenced by the power symbol chosen, affecting both the damage dealt and the mana consumed, requiring players to find a balance. Dungeon Master 2. Skullkeep's companion system features powerful minions, attack minions for combat, shield minions for defense, and porter minions for item management. The article emphasizes the importance of companion survival, highlighting the difficulty of the game's latter half without revivals. Revival involves placing the fallen companion's remains on a shrine. The page also announces the Japanese release of the game on platforms like the NEC PC, 9801, and FM Towns, alongside potential releases on IBM PC and Amiga. Fotherell's decision is linked to strong relationships with JVC and the series' popularity in Japan. A comic strip and a tease of future issues regarding maps and strategy conclude the page. This page features a deep dive into Data West's Psychic Detective Series Volume 4, Orgel, a psychic adventure game. The main focus is on the chilling plot, where bodies are discovered missing body parts, leading to a series of gruesome murders at a mansion called Kidante. Screenshots display pixelated character portraits and unsettling death scenes, including victims like Kamogawa, Yamada, and Sakato Yukinobu, found brutally killed with missing eyes, torn heads, or severed body parts like an ear. The vertical text emphasizes the theme, "The curtain of tragedy has not yet fallen." The article describes the terrifying events as survivors like Yagi, Kyokudo, and Kanako desperately try to escape and find the killer, all while the fear mounts. The game promises a terrifying experience as the mystery unfolds and more bodies turn up. This page delves into Psychic Detective Series Volume 4, Orgel, exploring its chilling narrative and psychological depth. The story picks up the night after 3 people become victims, with the protagonist Kyokudo waking to the terrifying discovery of Midori Kikuoka's mutilated body in a washing machine. Further horrors unfold as survivors Hiromi Hadome and Kanako Sakurazawa are also found dead, leading to a confrontation and a descent into a terrifying, deep world. Developer Data West highlights that the theme of Orgel is parent-child love, portrayed as a sad and warped affection that players will understand as the game progresses. Music is emphasized as a key element in building the game's atmosphere, with a central piece titled Two Melodies Playing Time and Space, representing the intertwining themes of mother and daughter. The page features character portraits of the victims, showing their gruesome fates. Screenshots depict tense story moments, including the discovery of bodies, character interactions, and glimpses of the surreal, deep world the protagonist must navigate. The game promises a terrifying experience as the mystery behind the murders unfolds, and the protagonist delves into the dark reality of the case. There is also a brief note about a giveaway for the previous title in the series, Aya, allowing players to experience the DAPS system used in these games. This page dives into the latter half of All Shark, the Mega Drive RPG from Sandstorm. The story follows Shion and his companions as they arrive at a cold planet in search of a colony ship. They discover an ancient spaceship, and upon interacting with it, Shion undergoes a mysterious awakening, gaining energy and memories, as depicted in the striking character art and visual scenes. The plot thickens with the confrontation between Eel and Zarte, a conflict rooted in a twisted sense of parent-child love, a theme briefly touched upon previously. Zarte, Shion's supposed father, tasks him with killing Eel, his real father. This leads to Shion's capture by Geetle and the abduction of Lucia, forcing the group into a tense situation and a confrontation with Zarte himself. Further exploration leads them to seek Ramu to learn powerful secret arts. Quote, visiting his home reveals a deeper mystery connecting Ramu, the ancient Mars people, and the Rallier race, hinting at the origins of these powers. The screenshots showcase the game's character portraits, dialogue scenes, and some battle sequences, although the focus here is clearly on the unfolding narrative and character drama in the game's later stages. The text emphasizes the twists and turns players will experience as the story progresses. This page continues detailing the latter half of the Mega Drive RPG, Allshark. It highlights the tragic events that unfold for Shinton and his companions. After finally locating Mammon, the attempt to separate him from Karma results in a new sacrifice. Lucia gives her life to restore Mammon, leaving Shion to grapple with the loss of his mother. The narrative takes another shocking turn, with the revelation that Duke Geedle, a powerful figure in the enemy ranks, is in fact Guido Asuman, Shion's father, who was believed to be dead. This means Shion suffers the devastating loss of his father for a second time, leading the text to ponder if the Asuman family is somehow cursed due to the repeated tragedies. Other plot points covered include the secret of Welda's birth, revealing her origins as a mixed-race cyborg created for combat, and a tease of the final confrontation awaiting Shion against powerful enemies like Raruel. The page features character portraits, dialogue scenes, and a battle screenshot, emphasizing the game's heavy, emotional storyline and the many twists players encounter as they near the conclusion. This page features the Mega CD port of Senk's horizontal scrolling action game, Sengoku, released by Sammy on December 28. This title brings the unique, often bizarre world and gameplay from the arcade and Neo Geo to Sega's CD console. The reviewer expresses a liking for the strange enemy character designs, highlighting the game's distinct atmosphere. Players choose from one of two main characters and battle through levels, with a key mechanic being the ability to temporarily transform into different forms, like a warrior, ninja, or even a samurai dog, by collecting capsules dropped by defeated enemies. These different forms offer varied combat styles, which are crucial for strategy. The game is praised for its unique worldview and the detailed graphics carried over from the original, noting that the sound also enhances the atmosphere. While the game is single-player only, the diverse power-ups and talking boss characters, who even have voice lines, add to the experience. The review also specifically mentions that the Super Famicom SNES version should not be considered a direct port, implying differences. This page features the Mega CD fighting game Battle Fantasy. Unlike typical fighting games from the time, this title sets itself apart by taking place in a rich fantasy world of swords and magic, a departure from the futuristic or sci-fi settings often seen. The developer, Micronet, known for their unique takes on genres, presents this game as their third fighting action title. The game aims to offer more than just head-to-head combat, catering to user expectations with 4 game modes. These include standard versus modes, a mode to observe computer-controlled battles called Auto Battle, and a unique RPG-style growth mode. This growth mode allows players to enjoy a story while improving their character's abilities through combat, making it more accessible even for those less skilled at action games by allowing experience and effort to compensate for technical shortcomings. Character customization is also highlighted, with stats and appearance seemingly adjustable, and customized characters can be saved. The page shows various character portraits, battle screenshots featuring fantasy creatures like dragons and beastmen, a character stats screen, and a town scene likely related to the growth mode, reinforcing the strong fantasy theme. This seems like a unique take on the fighting genre by integrating RPG progression and a compelling world. This page features the Mega CD release of Shin Megami Tensei, an RPG from Sims, scheduled for release in February. Unlike the previous page's fighting game, this title dives deep into a unique world where players can recruit and fuse demons, a groundbreaking concept for its time. The article acts as an early look, detailing key events from the beginning up to the Shinjuku area as the game nears its 65% completion mark. It describes the protagonist experiencing mysterious dreams, showing screenshots of a strange dungeon and the character creation screen. The dreams introduce a mysterious girl named Yuriko. The game then shifts to real-world events in Kichijoji, mentioning going shopping, visiting the arcade where Yuriko is encountered again, and hearing about a local murder. Finally, the page discusses returning to the dream world, this time accompanied by the Law Hero and Chaos Hero, and again meeting Yuriko, who speaks cryptically before vanishing. Screenshots illustrate these sequences, displaying town environments, dialogue boxes, and the characters within the dreamscape. The Mega CD version is noted to include an original opening sequence, suggesting enhancements over previous versions, making it appealing for fans and newcomers alike. The Shin Megami Tensei Mega CD protagonist, After a second dream, finds Kichijoji locked down, encountering a mysterious old man and returning to a dream world. They fight a scientist demon and are arrested. Imprisoned with the Law Hero, they escape and meet the Chaos Hero at an arcade. They gain auto-mapping and discover their mother consumed by a demon, with their dog, Pascal, helping. The story shifts to Shinjuku, with an eco-building Eid card obtained. A crucial demon fusion system is explained, allowing players to negotiate with and fuse demons for stronger allies. Fusion is level-dependent. This page focuses on the upcoming Sega Mega CD adventure game, Urusei Yatsura. Dear my friends, it highlights that the game is based on the popular series and will allow players to explore the familiar locations of Tomobiki Town. The page features several screenshots showcasing key areas like Ataru Moroboshi's house, Tomobiki High School, Shinobu Miyake's house, Sakura's Shrine, Sakura's house, Ran's UFO house, the Grand Mendo Mansion, and even the vacant lot frequented by strange characters. Alongside these images are brief descriptions of their significance in the series and how they relate to the game's setting and characters. The game is listed as 73% complete, a one-player adventure title with an undecided release date, and a pre-order price of 7,800 yen. The article expresses anticipation for the game, noting that fans will get to walk around these iconic locations and encounter many of the series' beloved characters. An upcoming Mega CD game, Urusei Yatsura, features an original story but retains the voice actors of the original anime. Screenshots show characters like Lum and Ataru in various situations. The game's style remains unclear. Other Mega CD announcements include enhanced versions of Wing Commander and Heavenly Symphony, John Madden 2, the puzzle strategy game Heimdall, and Sega's After Armageddon and its side story. A diverse range of titles is expected for Mega CD users in late 1994. This page officially announces Lunar. Eternal Blue, the highly anticipated RPG sequel for the Mega CD from GameArts. The development team includes returning key staff like Toshiyuki Kubuka handling character design and animation direction, Kei Shigema writing the scenario, and Yuichi Miyagi producing, with concept design by Akira Sato. The focus here is on the protagonist, Hiro, a 16-year-old living in a frontier oasis with his archaeologist grandfather. He's depicted as an optimistic and enthusiastic boy, deeply fascinated by legends and ancient ruins, constantly dreaming of adventure in the wider world. The game promises a character-driven drama set in the magical world of the floating blue star, with enhanced character designs and a stronger emphasis on the unique world setting compared to the previous title. The illustrations show Hiro in several poses, one notably featuring a small pink creature on his shoulder, suggesting his companions. This looks like a major RPG release for Mega CD owners to look forward to. This page continues the coverage of Lunar, Eternal Blue, introducing two more key characters. First is Lucia, the enigmatic heroine. Although her age is unknown, she appears to be around 16 or 17. Hiro encounters her when he explores the mysterious ruins known as the Blue Star. She immediately asks to meet the goddess Althena, setting the stage for Hiro becoming her guardian throughout the adventure. Lucia is portrayed as a strange girl, seemingly with little experience interacting with others, leading to peculiar conversations and actions, and emotionally underdeveloped for her age. The mysteries of the story revolve around her. Also featured is the peculiar pink creature, referred to as a mysterious cat-like being. This is Ruby, who serves a similar role to Nail from the previous game. Ruby is a chatty, cheeky, and jealous creature constantly attached to Hiro. Despite claiming to be a child of the Red Dragon, no one believes her. She acts somewhat like a younger sister figure to Hiro, though her stated dream is to marry him when she grows up. Ruby holds resentment towards Lucia and often interferes when she sees Hiro and Lucia getting along. Her personality is described as quite bad, and when angered, she breathes fire. While she can be a handful for Hiro, the article notes that she's ultimately quite cute. This page features a special interview with 3 members of the Lunar, Eternal Blue development staff, including scenario director Kei Shigemasa. The main headline poses the question: Lunar is a 3-part series. The developers explain that the series was conceived as a trilogy from the start, with the original Lunar, the Silver Star intended as the middle part of the story. They discuss the game design philosophy for Lunar, Eternal Blue, emphasizing drama, and deeply developing ordinary human characters and their emotions. They use the capabilities of the Mega CD, such as voice acting and anime sequences, primarily to enhance this dramatic storytelling. While they also aim for engaging gameplay with elements like side quests, the core focus is on achieving a satisfying, emotional conclusion through the narrative. Regarding the setting, they confirm that Lunar, Eternal Blue takes place in the same world as Lunar. The Silver Star but is set in a later era, feeling somewhat like the future, and in different, warmer locations compared to the northern regions of the first game. The page also includes a brief look back at Lunar, The Silver Star, released in June 1992, praising it as a masterpiece RPG on the Mega CD, known for its strong story and characters, particularly the work of character designer Toshiyuki Kubuka. Illustrations of characters from the first game, likely Alex and Luna, are shown, and it's hinted that characters from the Silver Star might make appearances in Eternal Blue. This page delves further into the world and gameplay of Lunar, Eternal Blue, showcasing concept art and developer insights. The illustrations provide a glimpse into the game's diverse settings, including a magical structure, a bustling port town with visible technology, and varied architectural styles, highlighting the blend of magic and mechanical civilization. An interview with key development staff confirms the trilogy concept from the start and discusses the narrative approach for Eternal Blue, emphasizing a shift towards more mystery compared to the first game, with the story revolving around the central character, Lucia. The page also reinforces the fundamental elements of the lunar world, featuring the goddess Althena and the protectors like the Dragon Master, noting that Eternal Blue is set one generation after the events of Lunar, the Silver Star. Crucially, it highlights significant upgrades to the battle system, specifically improving the AI to allow for more strategic combat, detailed commands, and enhanced character behavior, promising a more dynamic and dramatic experience than its predecessor, as shown in a battle screenshot. The next page continues the deep dive into Lunar, Eternal Blue, featuring an interview with producer Yuichi Miyagi. The discussion covers the game's narrative as the final part of a trilogy, aiming for a proper conclusion. They touch on story elements like Lucia, the girl from the floating blue star, and the game's difficulty, highlighting increased density and depth. Character design is a key point, describing Lucia's development and Hyro, referred to as Rs in the text, the protagonist's name in Lunar 1 being used here for comparison, as more active and carefree compared to the first game's protagonist. They also discuss the mysterious creature, confirming it evolved from Null. Screenshots show various aspects of the game world, including a vibrant town or village scene with a working windmill and detailed character sprites, and a dungeon exploration view showcasing the party's formation and the environment's oppressive atmosphere. A battle screenshot displays a large dragon enemy and the character portraits. The developers emphasize their meticulous attention to detail in the game's presentation, focusing on creating atmosphere and meaning through character movement, background elements like windmills and flags, and visual palette changes based on the scene's mood. Character animations, even for the small sprites on the map, are crafted with performance in mind to enhance the dramatic feel of events. A small section notes screenshots from the previous Lunar game are also included for comparison. This page delves further into Lunar, Eternal Blue, showcasing several screenshots and continuing the developer interview. The images provide a glimpse of the game's various perspectives, including an overworld map, a dungeon exploration view, and a battle scene featuring characters like Hyro, Lucia, Lemina, and Ronfar facing off against enemies. The interview continues the discussion on gameplay mechanics. The developers highlight significant improvements to the battle system, noting a much smarter AI compared to the first game, allowing players to rely on it more, although they encourage manual control for challenging boss fights. They mention the battle visuals are much flashier, leveraging the capabilities of the Mega CD. The magic system has also undergone a fundamental change, now based on an ability system designed to better emphasize individual character traits. Overall, they aim for a deep, engaging battle system that players will enjoy mastering. In addition to the gameplay details, the page features a unique call to action, a contest inviting readers to submit name ideas for a pink, cat-like creature described as the Child of the Red Dragon, which fans will recognize as Ruby. There's also a section soliciting feedback, requests, and opinions for Lunar, Eternal Blue directly from the fans to the development staff via the magazine. This page focuses on recent Game Gear releases around January 1994, highlighting a few key titles. The main feature is Donald Duck, Deep Duck Trouble, the latest Disney game putting Donald in the starring role. The review notes that after Scrooge finds 4 treasures, the player can choose which area to tackle first, making the adventure non-linear. Instead of defeating bosses, the goal is to escape them. Screenshots show various environments like the jungle, cove, volcano, and valley, and the article touches on the game's smooth animation. The story involves rescuing Scrooge after he is found floating in a pot, requiring the player to recover a pendant from an island. Also featured is Taisen Mahjong Kuhai 2. While there are other Mahjong games for the Game Gear, this one stands out for its extremely strange and suspicious cast of characters. The review mentions bizarre personalities like a girl with a revealing outfit, a crying DJ, and various other oddballs, making the character interactions a major draw, alongside the standard Mahjong gameplay. The page shows character portraits of some of the eccentric opponents. Other Game Gear titles releasing around this time are also listed, including Mortal Kombat, Nazo Puyo 2, and Et 2, the arcade game. The article notes that 4 software titles were released this month. Exciting news for Game Gear owners. The next page dives into several recent and upcoming Game Gear titles. The legendary fighting game Mortal Kombat from Midway makes its way to the handheld, chronicling the story of defeating the evil Shang Tsung. The article praises the quality of this port, noting it's impressive given the Game Gear's capabilities, and highlights the heated battles using special moves. Character portraits and gameplay screenshots featuring fighters like Sub-Zero, Goro, Raiden, and Scorpion are shown. Next is Nazo Puyo 2, a standalone puzzle game featuring 200 puzzles and a great feature allowing players to create and save 30 of their own, promising late-night puzzle-solving sessions. Also featured is 2, the arcade game, a port of the arcade light gun shooter based on the Terminator 2 movie. Enemies in the missions utilize scanned images, bringing a touch of realism. The GG Hotline section comments on the increasing pace of Game Gear software releases, which is positive, but expresses a desire for more RPGs. It recalls a past rumor about Phantasy Star I coming to GG, which turned out to be the side story Phantasy Star Gaiden, and notes that the only RPG currently planned is Kokuchi Hishoden Suishi Maru, mentioning past notable RPGs, like Shadam. All sections briefly preview Kenshi Densetsu Yaiba, and confirm the upcoming February release of Echo the Dolphin. This page features a rescue mission for players stuck in difficult games, specifically highlighting tips and walkthroughs for Thunderbirds are Go Go and Wizard of Immortal. For Thunderbirds, the page tackles common sticking points, providing flowcharts that detail how choices in specific scenarios affect the outcome, leading to multiple endings in the happy face and bravery is costly scenarios. It even touches on the complex, the transformed man scenario and its numerous variations. A separate section offers guidance for Wizard of Immortal, addressing a player's difficulty in placing gems correctly to progress past the second floor. The magazine encourages players to send in their own distress calls for assistance with MegaDrive and Game Gear titles. The page includes several small screenshots and illustrations depicting scenes from the games being discussed. This page features the BeepMD Cheat League Volume 45, showcasing hidden tricks for some popular Sega CD titles. First up is Sonic the Hedgehog CD. You can access the sound test from the title screen by inputting down, 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 left, right, A. Within the sound test, specific settings unlock hidden screens or a debug/edit mode, even allowing character changes and object placement in-game. Another title screen code, right, left, up, up, down, down, C, lets you view the development staff's best times, while a third sequence, up, down, 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 up, up, while holding A, lets you control the background clouds with the second controller. Next. For the Third World War, accessing a command input mode is key. By going into environment settings from the initial menu, and then pressing up, down, left, right, and start, a new command input mode option appears. Typing game here lets you play a bonus concentration game using flags. Entering Micronet or CM will reveal hidden screens, including character portraits and other surprising images. Finally, the page includes a call for readers to submit their own cheat codes and hidden discoveries for any Mega Drive or Gear games. Submitted tips could be featured in the magazine, with contributors earning prizes like game software. This page is all about the official announcement of Art of Fighting 2. Picking up a year after the first game, the mystery of the ending is finally revealed. Ryo and Robert solve the incident, uncovering Mr. Big as the mastermind who kidnapped Yuri to force Takuma Sakazaki, Mr. Karate, into joining him. Now, a year later, Ryo and Robert enter a fighting tournament to test their strength. The game retains core mechanics like the spirit gauge and the signature zoom system. A key new feature is the variable strength of attacks, depending on how long you hold the button, adding a layer of strategy. They confirm new characters are joining the cast, bringing the total roster to 12 fighters. Yuri Sakazaki also seems to be playable this time, finally getting into the action. The page also shows off some special moves and lists the full character lineup, including returning favorites. There's also a small note about the Neo Geo system itself, and highlights a game called League Bowling as an example of the system's offerings. This page presents a reader giveaway campaign for the January 1994 issue. Readers are invited to apply using the survey postcard for a chance to win various prizes. The top prizes include a choice of Mega Drive or Game Gear software, released by the end of 1993, with 30 winners for Mega Drive and 5 for Game Gear. Also up for grabs are sets of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles figures, a 2-poster set for the RPG All Shark, a Sonic the Hedgehog accessory case, and a 1994 calendar featuring classic Tatsunoko anime like Yatterman and Casshern. The page mentions the release of the Mega Drive Mega CD All Software Catalog, which was compiled using reader feedback from the past 5 years. It looks forward to 1994 with anticipation for next-generation hardware and the continued evolution of gaming. The next issue is scheduled for release on January 8th. Contact information is provided for magazine-related questions. The page also lists the magazine's staff members, from editors to illustrators and layout artists. This page features a variety of content including a critique of environmental advertising, news about a criminal investigation, details on a Sega Genesis game, a job recruitment notice, and information about a new television program. The main focus appears to be around environmental themes. There's a section titled, "Meaningless in the Garbage Can," complaint about an environmental protection ad, discussing issues with public messaging. Prominently featured is the game Awesome Possum, which is presented as a game about thinking about the environment. The image shows the titular character, a possum, interacting with a rhinoceros-like creature, set against a background of destruction. A text bubble from the possum says, "Empty cans, empty bottles belong in the garbage can." Screenshots show gameplay, including a level set in a snowy, polluted environment, possibly representing the Arctic. The game is scheduled for release on December 25th, with a retail price of 8,800 yen, excluding tax. Separately, a small article under the Tenjin header discusses a criminal investigation based on eyewitness accounts and a composite sketch. Finally, a section introduces a new television program called Natural Q, described as a quiz show, with a new feel based on environmental protection themes. It features game-like visuals similar to the Genesis, with various animal characters. The program is set to start on December 25th. There is also a brief recruitment notice for CG designers, mentioning a deadline is approaching. This page is presented in a newspaper format from Tenjin, titled Tenjin Daily News. The main headline story is about the game Dragon's Revenge, with a title that translates to "The Sacrifice Ritual Failed, Village Trembles in Fear." The article describes the game's premise involving a charismatic woman and a failed ritual, leading to a dragon woman causing terror in Karufin Village. Screenshots showcase the pinball gameplay, revealing the game's genre as a pinball title with fantasy elements. Separate from the game feature, there is a news brief titled Employee Fatality, reporting on a serious incident involving an employee in Tokyo. Finally, a recruitment notice titled Hero Recruitment seeks players to defeat the Dragon Woman in Dragon's Revenge, explicitly inviting pinball enthusiasts. The advertisement mentions the game's price and start date. This page is a full-page advertisement for the highly anticipated RPG Phantasy Star IV, The End of the Millennium, for the Sega Mega Drive. The striking artwork showcases the main party members, including Chaz Ashley, Alice Brangwyn, Rune Walsh, Rika, and Ren, capturing the epic scale of the game. The ad promotes the game's release on December 17th, with a price of 8,800 yen, accompanied by a powerful tagline promising an impactful experience. It also mentions a promotional campaign tied to the release.